expect to win. Every time you walk out that door to play the game, doesn't matter the arena, you expect to win.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that was close. Got me cranking up now. Woo!
And holiday greetings from cold Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where today the San Diego Chargers have come to meet the Steelers. The chill factors could get down in the low teens as the day wears on, but the Steeler fans seem to be ready for it. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. It has been a season of disappointment for both these teams. Marty Schottenheimer says with all the injuries right now, we're just trying to find a way to steal a game. But he is optimistic, Steve, about the future with a guy like number 21.
Well, his future looks bright in San Diego because of LaDainian Tomlinson. He has had a better year than every other running back in the National Football League, and he's not going to the Pro Bowl. He's going to play highly motivated. He is the future of this franchise. And another young player that's going to be handing him the ball is third-year quarterback, Drew Brees. Drew Brees was benched for a stretch of games during this season, but since he's returned, he has steadied his play and looked a lot better, and he looks to play well here in Pittsburgh today.
It was thought in Pittsburgh this might be a Super Bowl year after a 10-win season a year ago, but right now the Steelers are struggling badly. They've gotten a mandate, though, from ownership and coaching to give a playoff effort over the last two games. A lot of players under review. A guy that gets a long look today is the bust, Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis was not the starting running back in the first half of the season, but since he's been called upon, he has responded. But the question is this in Pittsburgh. As the future of the Steelers looks to be in change, at this point in his career, will Jerome Bettis be a part of that future?
Well, we know this about Jerome. He's been a great part of the Steelers, and he's going to get the ball a lot today. You see the temperature now at 34 degrees and dropping. The wind chill already in the teens, and gusting winds could also be a factor. Marty Schottenheimer loves coming back to Pittsburgh. This is his home area. Was an All-American at the University of Pittsburgh as a linebacker. And his counterpart, Bill Cowers, a close friend, a guy that started coaching on him as an assistant at Cleveland some years ago, but not friends today. They both want this game badly.
Marty Schottenheimer gave Bill Cowher a call while Bill Cowher was still playing for the Philadelphia Eagles way back in the day. He was on IR, and Marty'd known for a long time that Bill Cowher would make a coach, and Cowher left the game as a player to become a coach, and it seems as though it was a good career move, Don.
He didn't get a raise when he did it.
Got longer hours and a shorter paycheck.
But it's all worked out, and now ready to kick off are the San Diego Chargers. And back deep, Ike Taylor and Antoine Randall. A short kick taken by Antoine Randall, a dangerous kick returner as he turns the corner on the Chargers and gets out across the 40-yard line. So Randall gets good field position for the Steelers, and quarterback Tommy Maddox. As you see, Tommy, interceptions have been a problem. He's thrown 14 so far this year. Alan Faneca moves to left tackle today because of injuries. An all-pro guard going to the Pro Bowl yet again. One of the best in the NFL on the offensive line. And there is the bust, Jerome Bettis. Cowher said during the season this is his team. And they're going to throw the bus at the Chargers defense early and often today, like maybe right now to start it off. There is Bettis. And the bus gets rolling early as he crashes ahead for a gain of almost 10 yards. Alan Faneca cleaning people out, as Donnie Edwards made the tackle along with Jerry Wilson. Looking at the defensive line, Adrian Dingle has 5.5 sacks, but this is an undersized group. Edwards with 134 tackles, almost double the next tackler on the Charger team. And rookie Sammy Davis playing at the right corner. They think he could be a great one in the years ahead. Second down and less than a yard. Maddox looking long, throws downfield, and Plaxico Burress looking to the official. Looks like he was being held up by Quentin Jammer, but no flag forthcoming, so it'll be third down, Stephen, less than one.
Yeah, this was a deliberate underthrow by Tommy Maddox. He wanted to throw this ball behind Plaxico Burress. You can see him, and that got tied up with Jammer looking for the call. He's not going to get that call. He kind of initiated the contact, tried to come back to the football, and the throw was just not far enough for him to make a play on it. That's why there was no call.
No call, and it's third down and one, and so the bus features prominently again. Ryder comes up to block, and Jerome Bettis cracks ahead, and he gets it by about a yard as the Chargers hit hard. Jason Fisk coming up along with Jamal Williams. Scoreboard around the league, and Miami going to Buffalo, and the Dolphins stay alive in the playoff race. Tennessee winning at Houston late in the fourth quarter. Baltimore now in the driver's seat in the AFC North with that win over Cleveland today, soon to be official.
The interesting thing, Tennessee will get in. If they win, that's fine, but if Cincinnati does lose to St. Louis, continues on, Tennessee will be in the playoffs, although where they're seated remains to be seen.
First down and 10 now for the Steelers. Jerome Bettis turning wide, and he cuts ahead and gets only about a yard inside the Charger 45-yard line. Middle backer Zeke Marino makes the stop.
You watch Jerome Bettis run. Anybody who's seen the National Football League over the last 10 years, you've gotten to know Jerome Bettis so well. He's one of the top 10 running backs of all time yardage-wise, and he has carried this team at different points in his career on his back. Nobody has run the football as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers have under Bill Cowher.
Well, as Heinz Ward said, Steve, this is Jerome Bettis' team. It has been for the 6 years that Ward has been with them. And Jerome Bettis crashes inside the 40 on a 2nd down and 9 carry, and he'll be about 3 yards short of a first down. I talked to Mike Mularkey, offensive coordinator for the Steelers, on the field before the game. He said, we're going to force the issue with Jerome Bettis. They're going to have to show us, Steve, that they can stop him.
Well, last week in New York, when there was 6 inches of snow on the ground, Jerome Bettis got his leg hurt in the game, and at a point when exactly the right time when they needed him to come in, he was not available on the goal line. As you can see, when you see him run, when he goes into the pile, it moves.
Give him a little break now as they send Amos Zaraway in as the I-back on 3rd down and 3. Maddox play faking, dumps it off. Ball is caught by Zaraway. Good defense as Quentin Jammer comes up, 23. And it looks like he's going to be stopped just short of a first down. So with the gusting wind, Steve, I think they go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I think at this point early in the game, why not? It is going to be close, but I think it's going to be just short, although they're going to measure this. Jeff Reed, the kicker for the Steelers. And you can see, you know, when they come off the field, the coach will just ask his special teams coach or the kicker and say, can you make it? And he'll either say yeah or no.
Well, lately, Steve, Jeff Reed, it's been no, because he's missed 7 of his last 13 field goals, including both field goal attempts in a 6-0 loss last week.
And that's why Bill Cowher is just going to leave his offense on the field, and that's why Jerome Bettis is such a huge part of this game. When you've got a 3rd and short or a 4th and very short, you've got a guy that can get it. He is going to get it 99 times out of 100 because there isn't 2 guys that can keep him from getting 6 inches when he wants to get 6 inches.
And it's just barely about a foot, so Bill Cowher saying we're going to play these games like a playoff spot is on the line.
We'll see if he can get 12 inches when he wants to get 12 inches.
Well, they're sending in the guy that can get it, Jerome Bettis. Everybody in the building, including all the Chargers, know it's probably a 90% likelihood it's going to be handed off to him.
Well, if it's not handed to him, they're going to fake it to him. But I think you're right. At this point of the game, Don, you go for it. You're inside your opponent's 40-yard line. Hand it to your best back and tell your team you expect them to make this first down.
Over the years, the Steelers have beaten the Chargers in Pittsburgh 11 times in as many meetings in the regular season. But the Chargers have won here twice, both in postseason play, in '82 and in the '94 AFC Championship game. A bitter loss for the Steelers that year when they thought they were headed to the Super Bowl. Hand off. Bettis, bang, a first down and plenty more, and a rousing ovation from everyone at Heinz Field as he hits down to the 33-yard line with a first down.
It's great work up front, and you can say what you want about Jerome, but he got a lot of help up front. It was well blocked. They shifted pre-snap, confused the defense. Going to come right in this area. It's going to get the lineman coming out in front of him. That's Alan Faneca, the Pro Bowler, coming around in front. Bettis following his fullback right up inside. I mean, that's well-designed play and well executed. Jerome Bettis, no question, he had the first down.
So the Steelers now drive on, and back to Jerome Bettis, who's hit in the backfield. Coming up to make the play was Moreno, the middle backer. Jerome Bettis talked to us at practice about this disappointing Steelers season.
We got beat up a little bit early in the year with the injuries in the offensive line. The injuries, mounted, and the problem is when the guys up front are banged up, then it doesn't matter what you're doing everywhere else, you're going to suffer a little bit, and we did.
And that has been the same story for the Chargers. An inordinate number of injuries, and their offensive line have been expensive. Here is a throw downfield, and here's the penalty marker. And it was obvious that Plaxico Burress was grabbed by cornerback Sammy Davis.
Yeah, the ball was in the air, and they were tied up, and Burress due to the contact, lost his balance, almost went down. He's working there, as you said, against Sammy Davis.
22, defense prior to the pass. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Right in front of him. As they get up to the top of the route, you'll see as he gets, and that grabbed his arm and tried to hold up. And then what happens is when Sammy Davis got away from him and tried to hold him back, he almost fell down and grabbed him to keep himself from falling down. You can't do that, and that's where the flag came in.
Sammy, a #1 draft choice this year for the Chargers out of that Texas A&M. Pitch back, and this is Antoine Randall L., the guy who ran the opening kickoff back. Past the 40-yard line of the Steelers to set up this opening drive. There's a 6-yard run by Randall L.
You look at these guys, Randall L. carrying the ball on a pitch out of the backfield, and this is the rushing team, and this is today right here. This season they have been outrushed by their opponents for the first time in at least 4 years, and as I mentioned earlier, under Bill Cowher's tenure as Steeler head coach, no team has run the ball more effectively than the Steelers, and that's one of the problems this year. They're having to beat people left-handed.
Yeah, since '92, the Cowher era, they've far outrushed the rest of the National Football League, over 25,000 yards rushing for the Steelers in that Cowher era. But as you saw, the Steeler running game, and a lot of it's due to an offensive line. When Marvell Smith, the left tackle, went out, their whole blocking scheme seemed to break down. Well,
Alan Faneca was the left guard. He had to move out to left tackle, and Kendrick Vincent had to come in at left guard, and then everything else kind of shifted. Once you get an injury in your offensive line, it has the ripple effect throughout the team, and nobody up there is as effective. Even though one guy is all that gets hurt, everybody else's effectiveness is limited.
It's a carryover effect, and now on 3rd down and 6, a long ball. It is caught. Plaxico Burress heading for the end zone, and he goes in. Touchdown Steelers. Like the good old days are back at Heinz Field, as the cheering now is loud and enthusiastic as the Steelers look good on this opening drive and take a 6-0 lead.
Well, Burress working once again on Davis, and he gets out, and Maddox just throws the ball behind him once again. You look at the throw. It was not a spectacular throw. It wasn't a great throw. He just put it out and expected his receiver to make the play, and Burress came through. I mean, that's just a little lob pass. Say, I hope you can keep their guy from catching it and do something with it. And Burress made the play.
From 25 yards out, he made the play for the opening score of the game. Jeff Reed hits the point after. And so the Steelers, on the 10th play of this long drive, the opening drive, take a 7-0 lead. The Steelers will kick off when we come back to Pittsburgh.
You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job. Congratulations!
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet Specials for just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th, only at Southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Braun Synchro cuts more efficiently because it's the first shaver with a 4-way moving head. And its automatic self-cleaning system leaves your shaver so clean it feels like new every day. Braun Synchro. We challenge you to find a better dry shaver.
Among the world's greatest innovations are the forward pass and the ability to catch it. Introducing the Canon Digital Rebel, a 6.3 megapixel SLR with the Digic chip and CMOS technology. The game has changed.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert?
You've seen Mr. Goodwrench around the track.
Sure. Well, how can he be there and at the GM dealership?
How do you mean?
How do you mean? Mr. Goodwrench actually knows GM cars better than you.
You better believe it.
Don't tell me what to believe, Harvick. I'm the one holding the clipboard here, okay?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
What are you doing? Oh, hey, Happy. How's the sound system in this puppy? Get out.
Okie doke. CBS Monday.
CSI Miami has seen a lot of murder victims,
She's been here over 72 hours.
but never quite like this one.
This woman has perspiration on her.
Oh, God.
She's still alive.
Don't miss an unforgettable hour of television.
I'm still scared.
I know.
CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
Don Criqui with Steve Tasker back at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers on a sustained opening drive get the payoff on a Tommy Maddox to Plaxico Burress touchdown throw, and it's 7-0 Pittsburgh. Now Jeff Reed ready to kick off. Leon Johnson, there he is, number 35, ready to run it back for the Chargers. Ball hit high. Leon Johnson from the 8, 20, 25, and out to the 26 or 7 yard line. Kleeroff with the tackle, and the Chargers with Drew Brees at quarterback will go on offense for the first time when we come back.
The season's best. Experience the magic at your Cadillac dealer today. Breakthrough.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think...
Haircut, $30.
What? I would have looked out for the water main. But that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double bagged it.
Bud Light salutes you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer. Pushing fashion to its limits, you pair leather boots with a thong. An understated way of saying, I'm going to rip your head off and look fabulous doing it. So make it a Bud Light, mister, because without you, a man crushing another man's head in his arms would just look silly.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Cadillac, bold vehicles defying convention. And by Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
It's Santa weather in Pittsburgh, but no snow. Only snow today on the NFL scene was in the studio when those guys in the Patriots put artificial snow on them. Here is a handoff straight up the middle, and the Steelers stop LaDainian Tomlinson. As we look now at the Chargers lineup, Drew Brees, making the start at quarterback, was benched for 5 games this year. He is 1-8 as a starter this year for the Chargers. McIntosh working at left tackle. Damian McIntosh in an offensive line that is really in the throes of change because of injuries. Tomlinson having an absolutely fantastic year. Leads the NFL in combined yardage, over 2,000 yards for a second straight year. As they give it to LaDainian Tomlinson again, averaging 5 yards a carry this season. And Pro Bowler Casey Hampton, 98, makes the stop. Hampton going to his first Pro Bowl. A very, very popular announcement was announced to the team. Kendrell Bell, a sensational young linebacker out of the University of Georgia in his 3rd year. And the quarterback of the defense is safety Brent Alexander. 3rd down comes up for Drew Brees and the Chargers. They need 6. Brees stands in, throws hard, and the ball is separated from the receiver, Antonio Gates. The young tight end had his hands on it but lost it when he was hit by Chris Hope, number 28. So the Chargers have to punt.
Antonio Gates, the guy that they love in this offense. You see there, it just gets away, and Hope hits his right arm as he's trying to clamp the ball. And I'll tell you what, anything you can do to receiver or tight end as they're trying to catch the ball, it's really beneficial. Any kind of brush or tip makes it almost impossible. You almost have to get lucky to continue the catch.
They're really optimistic, though, as you know, Steve, about Antonio Gates, a guy who never played college football. He played basketball at Kent State. Randall L. from the 26. Penalty marker's thrown down, as is Randall L. at the 27. So good special teams coverage by the Chargers.
This is going to be a block in the back right at the point where the punt was caught. You see it so many times. What happens is
the illegal block in the back during the return, number 57. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball.
Clint Krewalt called for the illegal block after a 44-yard punt and just a 2-yard return.
That's just the coverage team hustling harder than the return team.
I'm wanted in 4 states, but it's all good. Got me new driver's license and a sweet new pickup. V8, baby, 500 horsepower. Oh, and 4 of them mud flaps with the naked ladies on them. Urgh, mamacita. And the best part is, it's all free. Yeah, well, for me at least.
Introducing City Identity Theft Solutions. Free with any City card. Help getting your life back? That's using your card wisely.
Zales half-carat princess cut diamond ring for just $199. Stunning and unforgettable. Oh look, it matches her perfectly. Exclusively at Zales, making moments last a lifetime.
It wants to eat.
Jeepers Creepers 2 on DVD Tuesday.
So we're all set for Hawaii. Flight, hotel. Hey, look, we can book surfing lessons.
I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Am I doing this right?
Perfect.
Really?
You're a natural. Or we can go horseback riding.
Okay.
Activities, another way Expedia helps you create the trip that's right for you.
Expedia.com. CBS Tonight, a hitchhiker's murder.
A young white male walked into the woods, shot once in the chest.
Looks exactly like a crime from the past, and the prime suspect is playing one hell of a game.
Maybe it's a polygraph.
With Detective Lily Rush.
Come closer, Dolly. I want to tell you something.
All new Cold Case, CBS Tonight.
Back at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Steelers scored on their opening drive. Bill Cowher seeing his team take it in. It's Maddox, number 8, through to Plexico Burris for 25 yards and a touchdown. Now the Steelers start their second possession from scrimmage after a Charger punt. Maddox looking downfield again. Going back at the ball with a sensational catch is Plexico Burris. It looks like they're spotting the ball as a catch.
Yeah, it looked like he caught it, and then the defenders came up to touch him down and knocked the ball away. Watch here, working once again against Davis, and he comes in, and hard to see there as Marino comes out. He blocks our view, but they call it a catch. We'll get a better view here. Oh yeah, good catch.
Sammy Davis back. Elevation now. We wish you a happy holiday.
They're going to work on it. Plexico Burris has been against Sammy Davis all day, and it looks as though that's a matchup they want to exploit, no question.
Second and less than a yard. Boom goes Jerome Bettis into the middle of the defensive line of the Chargers. First down, Pittsburgh Steelers.
And this is Steeler football. I mean, you complete one short pass and then give it to Jerome Bettis for the first down. That's a tough offense to get off the field. They just pound and pound and pound. And that run game really makes their passing game go. Tommy Maddox was a huge beneficiary of that a year ago. Struggled some this year since the injuries to the offensive line kind of hamstrung their running game, you know, and it showed throughout their football team. But when Jerome Bettis is running the way he is today, this offense is as effective as any.
Well, they're really firing off the ball, knocking the Chargers back, and now a play fake, and Maddox stands in. He throws and gets it to Bettis. The bus still has some get up and go and some outside speed as he runs it across the 45. A gain on the play of 18 yards and a first down.
You see Jerome Bettis walking around. He's a big guy. He's a little bit round. but when he catches the football and turns it on, he can outrun. Watch as he outruns Donnie Edwards, and Donnie Edwards is considered a very fast linebacker, and it takes him 40 yards to catch Jerome Bettis.
Bettis is a big cap number for the Steelers next year. That says he sees himself in a Steeler uniform next season.
He does want to come back. He loves this town and this team.
Now Amos Zaraway's in to replace him on a 1st and 10. Zaraway hits hard at the Charger defense. Terrence Keel, the strong safety, another rookie in the secondary. The Chargers start 2 rookies in the secondary. Makes the tackle, but does it 8 yards downfield. 2nd and 2.
The Steeler offensive line is really firing out, and the defensive line of the Chargers is really struggling keeping the offensive line off their linebackers. They're having trouble because the Steelers are penetrating through and getting up into the 2nd level. And that running game, the running backs are really finding gaps in the defense.
They are. The Steelers are winning the line of scrimmage. Maddox stands in again, throws an out pattern. The ball is caught beautifully by Heinz Ward. And the Pro Bowler finds his way down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 15 yards. And a sensational catch by Ward, his 88th catch of the year.
Watch how he catches it. This is a guy that's playing with so much confidence. He gets the separation there as he throws Jammer's arm off his, catches it, plucks it away, steps through the 2 defenders, and he got every yard that was coming to him after he made the catch. Made 3 guys miss, dove across, got the 1st down. That's why he's a Pro Bowler. When he catches it, he does something with it. It's not just a reception, it's a play.
Well, he's going to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl, and he was, of course, a running back as well as a receiver at Georgia. So he can indeed do something with it once he catches it. Here's Zaraway running, and he takes it down to the 27-yard line.
It's a big weekend in the league, Don, as you see. Tennessee will get in to the playoffs today. They can clinch a playoff berth since Cincinnati lost or is losing at St. Louis. Baltimore will take the lead in the North Division with the win 35-0 at this point over Cleveland. So it's all starting to sort out, particularly in the AFC.
Bill Parcells, in his first year as head man, has taken the Cowboys to the playoffs. They are officially in after beating a Giant team. Parcells coached the Giants to 2 Super Bowl championships. Here's a handoff, and Zaraway putting on moves. They both have a number 21 in the backfield that can really put on some speed and moves, cut back acceleration.
As you get back to the playoffs, see, this is where it stands right now. And obviously, Kansas City, New England are in. They've clinched their division. Indianapolis has clinched a berth, but not the division title as yet because of Tennessee lurking in the background over here. In Baltimore, with the win today, takes the lead over Cincinnati. Still hanging in there, but losing in St. Louis.
Winner a tie against Denver will put the Colts in. They are, of course, contending with the Chiefs for the other home field advantage. Looks like New England's going to have one of those. And here is a cutback, and Zaraway crashes into the defensive secondary of San Diego and is knocked down by Donnie Edwards, but it's another 1st down. Heinz Ward with a crushing block to spring it.
Watch Heinz Ward as he comes in. This is the block right here. And he's doing that on a defensive end. Bang! That's hard. And I'll tell you what, I've done that. And when you come in there, all you can think of as a wide receiver is, please don't let that guy see me coming. Let me catch him not looking. And Heinz Ward did exactly what he was supposed to do. Shield off the big guy so his running back could get outside.
And get outside he did. Another big gain for 1st down, 15 yards. And now the Steelers drive on. Here's Jerome Bettis. Inside the 10-yard line. When we were at practice on Friday, Steve, you could see the Steeler team, and they were practicing a team that was in the playoffs. It was a very spirited, fast-paced practice.
Yeah, they practiced very well. They practiced very well. Bill Cowher brought them in and spoke to them a couple of times. Got them, kept them motivated. And Bill Cowher is a master motivator, and he has said, you know, Jerome Bettis is a guy that this team rallies around. And that when he started getting the ball more late in the 2nd half of the season, this team really started to find itself. And I think they're going to have a hard time if indeed they make that choice and say goodbye to Jerome Bettis.
Right now they're saying hello to Jerome Bettis again as they give him the ball inside to the 5-yard line on a 2nd down and 5 carry. He's about a yard short of the 1st down. Reno again on the tackle with safety Jerry Wilson.
I know we're only late here in the 1st quarter, Don, but already the Steelers are dominating this game. 125 yards of offense to San Diego's 4 yards of offense, and the reason is that guy right there. He has pounded the San Diego Chargers front in the running game, and he has also opened up the passing game. Caught a pass for a first down. I mean, when he's running the football, everything goes well for Tommy Maddox in the offense.
Maddox is running a lot today, Steve. 10 carries now for 32 yards. Here he is again. He's not in, but he does have a Steeler first down inside the 3-yard line.
That's exactly what they didn't have a week ago in New York. You think back, was how much a difference that could have made last week. And the offensive coordinator, Mike Mularkey, took a lot of heat for his play selection a week ago down close in New York in the snow. But he didn't have Jerome Bettis in the game because Jerome Bettis wasn't available. I mean, Jerome Bettis got a lot of mileage on him. Every once in a while, he got tweaked. He'll get tweaked. He was hurt a little bit in that Jets game and couldn't come in. And that's exactly where they wanted him, right there.
Well, he is, as you know, the number 8 all-time rusher in the NFL. And now Bettis crashes down to the goal line. He's in. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they extend to a 13-0 lead with the extra point coming up.
This was a dominating drive. Watch as Jerome Bettis. He's going to make a guy miss right here and then back into the end zone. Just steps right around Donnie Edwards and slips right into the end zone. That's why a back is good, Don. It's not because he's big and strong. That helps. But it's because he has a knack for finding and making people miss in tight spaces. And Jerome Bettis is one of the best ever.
Well, the record shows that. The league rushing record. Number 8 all-time, and now the extra point is up and good. So the Steelers drive on. That time the Steelers go 12 plays, 81 yards. Bettis on the payoff end from a yard out.
It's the JCPenney last minute gift sale. Sunday through Wednesday, save 20 to 60% off great gifts, plus $10 instant coupon savings. Or give JCPenney gift cards the perfect last minute gift.
It's all inside.
JCPenney.
If staying in the game is important to you, ask your doctor about new Levitra. Make this the play that matters. Take action. And ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Now's the time to ask about new Levitra.
Spread your wings. The Cadillac SRX Performance Utility. Breakthrough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by JCPenney, where you'll find all the best gifts. Unwrap the magic, it's all inside. JCPenney. And by the all-new AOL 9.0 Optimized. Life needs upgrades.
We're back as the hills of western Pennsylvania showing a snow covering, but the weather very good for this opening day of winter 2003, and a good day for Jerome Bettis, Steve, as now the Steelers have scored 2 first-quarter touchdowns. In their previous 14 games this season, they scored a total of 1 touchdown in the first quarter.
Well, they have totally dominated the early going here today against the Chargers, and it's due in large part to Jerome Bettis in the run game.
Now the kickoff, tough to handle, and the Charger return man does the right thing and falls on the ball.
The right thing after a huge mistake.
Yeah, after he bungled catching it, but.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert?
Can I help you?
No, I'm good, thanks. Good wrench. Good wrench. He put a supercharger in your car.
Yep. What's it to you, bub?
Easy there, Leadfoot. New transmission. Who's my guy?
Mr. Goodwrench.
Fresh fuel filter?
Mr. Goodwrench. Mr. Goodwrench.
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
My friends call me Buffalo.
How come?
Don't know.
new AOL disc is here.
Can't believe that it's done.
Hold on. That's AOL 9.0 optimized you've got there.
It's Jerry Stiller.
You've been getting lots of discs, I know, but you gotta give 9.0 a spin. Try it. I'll bet you'll be using an old Snoop Dogg CD to finish that artwork.
Now wait just one manizzle.
Satisfaction guaranteed for 90 days or your money back.
To protect a secret, they erased his memory. Now, 19 clues will show him
Your future awaits you no matter what you do.
how to collect on the life he lost.
Don't you believe in second chances?
I do.
Ben Affleck, Aaron Eckhart, Uma Thurman. From director John Woo, Paycheck, rated PG-13, starts Christmas Day in theaters everywhere.
The Buffalo Bills look forward to spreading lots of holiday cheer with their old friends and division winners, the New England Patriots, next Saturday on CBS.
We're back with just 9 seconds to play at Heinz Field. The Steelers with 2 sustained drives in their first 2 possessions, and they have taken a 14-0 lead. The first on a 25-yard pass play to Plexico Burress. First touchdown from Maddox, and then the bus. Jerome Bettis bangs in from a yard out. So the Steelers looking sharp on a day when they got a mandate from owner Dan Rooney and coach Bill Cowher that they expect a playoff effort every down the rest of the way. And they have a huge game next week. They go to Baltimore, the Steelers, and they could decide who gets in from their division. Downfield throw off the hands of the tight end, Antonio Gates, the guy who did not play college football, basketball player at Kent State, and a good one.
You know, the best tight ends I ever played with or saw were guys that had played basketball. They have a knack for getting inside. United boxed out on a rebound. They get their body between the ball and the defender. They seem to have a knack. And also basketball players have softer hands. Gates, a guy who really can get in there, find the open spot. When the ball's in a tight spot or in a tough, difficult catch, he seems to make it.
He's been catching a lot of balls in the recent games for the Chargers. Now they go to LaDainian Tomlinson, and not much has been happening for him. 3 carries so far, just 5 yards for Tomlinson. So after the first quarter of play, it is the Steelers in command 14-0. We'll return to Heinz Field after these messages.
I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer! I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer! I can't taste my beer!
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Good call.
Hurry into Circuit City today for big savings on all your last-minute gifts. Save on the year's hottest DVDs, CDs, video games, and more. And be sure to pick up a Circuit City gift card, too. Plus, get this 7-inch widescreen portable DVD player for just $199.99. And save $30 on this Sony 3.2 megapixel digital camera. Only $269.99 after rebate. Save on all your last-minute gifts today at Circuit City. We're with you.
John Lynch and his mom brought Chuck Flynn new Campbell's Chunky Grilled Chicken and Sausage Gumbo. It filled him up right.
Tell me what else? What else should he be doing?
Sure beats another frozen dinner. Chuck ate heartily. Later, his buddies ate their hearts out.
The experts at Oral-B are on a mission to protect your teeth and gums with the new Oral-B Professional Care 7000. Its 3D action removes more plaque than Sonicare Elite and even reverses gum disease. Oral-B Professional Care. Brush like a dentist.
A 60 Minutes exclusive. Details of the encounter Saddam Hussein had this week in his jail cell with his angry countrymen. Tonight.
Monday, Dave's all new with Steve Martin. And Tuesday, don't miss Renee Zellweger holiday music from Darlene Love. Then knock the meatball off the Late Show tree. The tradition continues.
The 16. Don Crickey with Steve Tasker back at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On 3rd down and 9. Drew Brees from the shotgun dumps it off on a screen to LaDainian Tomlinson, and they stop him for a loss. Well, the Steelers with the Shea Townsend, the lead tackler, on top of their game. Their defense open for business today as the Chargers have been able to do nothing.
Well, as the Steelers come out and put 2 long scoring drives together, the Chargers promptly go 1, 2, 3 and out, 1, 2, 3 and out. They have done nothing. And the Steelers, you can tell as the Chargers line up, the Steelers always know exactly where LaDainian Tomlinson is going to be. They are focused on him completely.
Now the punt by Darren Bennett, hitting it from near his goal line. A high punt, a penalty marker's thrown down as Randall L. starts the return. Here's a guy that averaged almost 260 yards a game total offense at Indiana. You consider passing, running, catching, and kick returns. Almost 260 a game for his career.
And even at this level of the NFL, he's a guy that they find different and innovative ways to get him the football. He's lined up in the backfield, run routes. He's caught pitches and handoffs out of the backfield. He's a kick returner. He's just a guy that when you need something done, you put the ball in his hands.
Got a false start on the Chargers, so do we do this whole thing over again, Special Teamer?
I think you do. You kick it again because it's difficult to cover 2 kicks in a row. If you're the coverage team, you got to run 60 yards in a fight and then go back and do it again.
Well, they're
We have
listening
a player
to you.
out of bounds on the kicking team, illegally going out on his own. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Re-kick, 4th down.
That's the Tasker rule where you go out of bounds and come back in.
I didn't invent it, but I perfected it, and then they outlawed it.
Well, you certainly skirted the rules in pursuit of another tackle.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's right. Well, when you did it, it wasn't cheating.
Well, what happens right here, you can get knocked out of bounds, but you can't run out of bounds on your own. Watch, he goes to the bottom. He runs out of bounds and just runs. And the reason that's illegal is because these guys are not allowed to block him when he's out of bounds. They can knock him out of bounds, but they can't chase him out of bounds to hit him again. If you run out of bounds on your own, then you're kind of skirting the team's ability to play against you. So it's a violation.
Darren Bennett, a 2-time Pro Bowler, hits a high punt. You're correct, Steve. They're going to get much better field position as a fair catch is made by Randall L. inside the Chargers' 45-yard line. So the Steelers with 2 touchdowns and as many possessions, ready to go to work again.
With a 140 horsepower engine and responsive handling, we put the fun back into the compact car, the Saturn Ion. Finance the new 2004 Saturn Ion 1 with air conditioning and CD player for $179 a month. See your retailer for details.
If men are so insensitive, why do they need 9 personal comfort settings? Spectra from Norelco. Ultra close, ultra comfortable. Guaranteed.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet Specials. Just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th. Only at Southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
This Christmas is a whole new reason to wake up excited. Get ready.
There are mermaids. Indians. Pirates.
For the adventure of a lifetime. Peter Pan. Rated PG. Starts Christmas Day.
CBS Thursday. This isn't Santa's workshop.
I think we've got our murder scene.
And this is one toy you don't want under the Christmas tree.
You really think one of these things killed your Vic?
Could have been an accident. Could have been a lot of things.
It's boys and their toys.
Metal weapons, testosterone.
We got a room full of murder suspects.
CSI, CBS Christmas Night.
If this were a fight, it would be a technical knockout at this point, as you see the Steelers scoring well in the first quarter, but overall yardage, the Steelers have 133 yards. San Diego has 2. And the first down disparity is awesome also. As the Steelers go to the run, 10 first downs, Steve, for the Steelers, none for San Diego. Find out everything you need to know about the Super Bowl coming up. That's Super Bowl 38, the history of the game, the entertainment, and everything related to Houston. It's all at superbowl.com or superbowl.com on AOL.
You spoke a moment ago, Don. San Diego has no first downs. Pittsburgh has 10. And now they've got the ball once again inside San Diego's 45-yard line.
Got Heinz Ward in the backfield. He comes out and gets a swing pass, and here's Heinz Ward inside the 30. Turning the corner. He's a tough customer. Heinz Ward crashes down inside the 15 to the 11-yard line. Great block by a guy not known for blocking, Chris Doring, a thin wide receiver. 25-yard gain.
We saw earlier that Heinz Ward can block on the ring. And watch the two outside guys help out their buddy. I mean, Heinz Ward is a great player. There's no question. But he can also run. I mean, he does everything well. He runs after the catch. He blocks in the running game. He runs great routes. He makes tough catches. You go to the Pro Bowl not because you can catch the ball only. You go to the Pro Bowl because you can do it all, and that's Heinz Ward.
And that is officially a run from scrimmage, I think. It looked like a lateral, not a forward pass. You're right, it's a substantial gain again. And the ball is positioned at the 16-yard line of San Diego.
You know you're a good physical football team when you've got wide receivers knocking people over in the run game on pass plays.
Maddox pump faking, goes to the end zone, a wide open receiver, touchdown Pittsburgh. Burris with his second TD of the day, his 4th touchdown catch of the year from 16 yards out. And a dispirited Charger team looks like they're looking for to warm up the buses and get out of here.
Well, Plexico Burris caught a touchdown against Sammy Davis earlier. This time he's on Quentin Jammer. Watch as he takes the slant, gets the pump fake, and Jammer is caught leaning completely inside. And Lieber tries to help and recover, but he's just too late. That was a play that Quentin Jammer bit on the post fake and got taken for a touchdown.
And that is, Steve, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Steelers, and they're just warming up. Jeff Reed hits the point after, and with 12:49 to play in the first half, the Steelers take further command of this game, leading 21-0. Pittsburgh kicks off again when we come back.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Absolutely.
He helped me pick this out.
This holiday, how can you possibly thank the woman who always believed in you? A K Jewelers 3-stone diamond necklace would be a great start. And you can be assured of 2 things. First, that every K diamond is hand-selected for exceptional beauty. And second, that she'll absolutely love it.
Can I give you folks a lift?
Every kiss begins with K.
With a 140 horsepower engine and responsive handling, we put the fun back into the compact car, the Saturn Ion. Finance a new 2004 Saturn Ion 1 with air conditioning and CD player for $179 a month. See your retailer for details.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, stylish midsize L300, and the fun-to-drive Ion. Duracell, trusted everywhere. And by K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K.
We're back. There is Plexico Burris with 2 touchdown catches today. And next to him, Heinz Ward, who's had some great moments also. He's not been in the end zone yet, but has made some terrific plays, catching and blocking. And the Steelers with 3 touchdowns and as many possessions are ready to kick off once again. Jeff Reed to kick off to Leon Johnson. High kick, taken at the 11. 25. And out to the 32-yard line.
Drops it on the return.
And there the Chargers going offense again. Monday on CBS, CSI Miami has seen a lot of murder victims, but never one quite like this, because she's still alive. Don't miss an unforgettable hour of television. CSI Miami, Monday here on CBS. Drew Brees at quarterback for the San Diego Chargers, who was trying to get his team jump started. You see what they only have 3 yards offense so far. -3 when you total up the lost yardage. Swing pass. He gets it out of the backfield to LaDainian Tomlinson with his 87th catch of the year. Good for a 10-yard gain.
You see LaDainian Tomlinson come out of the backfield. You get a look at a guy who's had an absolutely sensational year. And you see the yards. These are in obviously the last 2 games. I mean, you know, it's amazing that the guy's had the kind of year he's had and did not get more recognition for it. I mean, he's in a tough spot. I mean, you look around the AFC particularly, you got Priest Holmes, Jamal Lewis, Ricky Williams down in Miami. They've got it's a tough position, but still the year he's had has been phenomenal.
Well, he gets the ball again. As Marty Schottenheimer said, we're going to get in his hands and either hand it to him or throw it to him. But Schottenheimer said this week, one of the most remarkable accolades I've ever heard about a player, Schottenheimer, who's been in the game for 40 years, said he's the best back he's ever seen. He said, you know, Gale Sayers was a contemporary of his.
You can see why. I mean, this is most yards. This is since 2002, and this is playing on a team that's struggling. They have 3 wins this year, and this guy has done everything for them. And this is a guy, Marty Schottenheimer said he's the best back he's ever seen. I mean, he's talking about Jim Brown, Walter Payton, all of them.
He said he's a combination of Barry Sanders and Walter Payton.
All right.
Now this time he is cannon fodder for a tough Steeler defense. Point man on the hit was Kendrell Bell. As Tomlinson is knocked down. Tomlinson bitterly disappointed, though, over not making the Pro Bowl, even though he leads the NFL in total yards, over 2,000 yards for a 2nd straight season.
And I think that's an underrated statistic. Total yards. I mean, you add his receiving yards with his rushing yards, and he's done more for his team than perhaps any back in the National Football League. He has been the horse that has driven that team through some tough times. And yeah, they've only got 3 wins, but it's not because of LaDainian Tomlinson.
Here's a throw downfield, and the penalty marker is fired in. They're going to have an interference call on Dwayne Washington, number 20, as he got his hands on David Boston. They're going to him for the first time, a $5 million a year receiver, maybe more.
Yeah, and they need, you see, this is no question this was against Washington. Because you see this team struggle in San Diego.
Pass interference, 20, defense, automatic first down.
You see this team struggle, and you watch the guys that are playing well and not playing well. As you'll see Brees throw this out. They've had some troubles at quarterback. They've struggled, especially in their offensive line with injuries that have happened. And then they've got a guy like David Boston who came in and has, because of their struggles at quarterback, the guy you came in to make plays for you has been ineffective as well because nobody's been able to get him the football.
Boston has 64 catches for the year. Here is Brees in trouble. Buys some time and makes a beautifully connected throw downfield to his tight end Antonio Gates. As Mike Logan knocks him out of bounds. So it's good for 17 yards. So the Chargers showing signs of life.
Yeah, you talk about a guy like David Boston who has played for this team. They brought him over from the Arizona Cardinals. And you say he's got 64 catches. In today's NFL, that's not enough from your number 1 receiver. You've got to get 80 catches, 90 catches, even 100. A great year is 100 catches. But David Boston with less than 70 catches at week 15 of the season is just not enough.
Banged up his shoulder last week in the loss to Green Bay at San Diego, but did practice. Here is a throw, and again, LaDainian Tomlinson out of the backfield, ahead for plus yards. On a 1st and 10 play, he's ahead for a gain of about 7.
And Tomlinson, you see running backs come into the National Football League, and you always hear guys coming out of college like, wow, he can really run with the football, or he's a good receiver. The National Football League today commands that your running back does it all. He has to catch the ball. He has to run good routes. He has to be a tough, physical runner. He has to be fast enough to outrun people. And then he has to be able to pick up blitzes in pass protection and run block as well. They have to do it all, and LaDainian Tomlinson has done it.
He is primarily the offense, and now he runs the ball. Spins off on 2nd down and gets down close to a 1st down. Will be less than a yard from it. Bringing up 3rd and very short. Kendrell Bell on the stop. Tomlinson out of TCU was the MVP of the Senior Bowl, and he jumped way up in the draft. He's one of the top players picked. See, he's still limp. He's got that bad toe, Steve, and it's been a nagging injury. He's still putting up numbers with that.
Yeah, he's a guy that, I mean, Believe me, when you've got a running back, a key player like that, your teammates know, everybody knows who's hurt and who's not. And when they see their guy like Tomlinson going out there and getting it done when he's hurt week after week, man, that sets a cultural tempo within your club that everybody has to match. It really helps.
Well, this time with Tomlinson on the sideline, they go to his backup, Leon Johnson. And the linesman comes in, and did he get there on third down and less than a yard? Well, if he didn't, you got to go for it on fourth.
Yeah, it didn't look like he did.
And take an official timeout as James Ferrier was on the stop, inside backer.
Tomlinson is still over on the sidelines. You thought he was going to shake up and maybe walk it off, but it doesn't look like it. He's really bent over talking to the trainers. You can always tell a guy's hurt when he holds a conversation with the trainers. When he walks off, he says, "Leave me alone." You think he's going to be okay. He's going to walk it off. But when he starts talking to those guys, then he's got some questions about how fast he's going to come back. That's always something you look for.
Look at this. They're going to spread the field with 5 wide receivers in an open backfield.
Pittsburgh called a quick timeout. Smart play by the Steeler defense.
Fourth down comes up. Fourth and less than a yard for the Chargers when we come back to Pittsburgh.
My husband's going to cut you off when the light turns green. I'm driving with my knees.
You don't always know who to avoid out there.
I'm really tired.
That's why every Saturn L300 comes standard with ABS brakes, traction control, and head curtain side airbags. Finance a new 2004 Saturn L300-1 for $249 a month. See your retailer for details.
Inside that flashlight is something familiar. A battery. And while it may not be the biggest decision of your day, consider this. In the land of Middle-earth, the filmmakers of The Lord of the Rings trusted one battery in every one of their light meters. Duracell. So no matter how you play make-believe, it just has to work. Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. In theaters now.
Romeo.
Juliet.
I love you.
Ditto.
Die!
Oh. Marry him.
Never.
No. You.
Better now. No.
Kiss. Nextel walkie-talkies get it done.
Rich Eisen, behind the scenes, only on the NFL Network.
There it is, a win for the ages.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
Don Criqui with Steve Tasker back at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where the Chargers finally mounting a drive after the Steelers have taken command of this game 21-0. Steelers scoring touchdowns on their first 3 possessions of the game. San Diego 8 of 15 on 4th down conversions this year. They need less than a yard, and Drew Brees calls his own number, and he gets ahead and appears to have the first down, so the Chargers drive on.
As LaDainian Tomlinson comes back into the game to get a chance to look at the playoffs. This is St. Louis. They got a bye in the first round today, and then it comes down to these guys: Green Bay, Seattle, and Minnesota. And Dallas is already in. They've clinched a spot today with a win. But Minnesota, Seattle, and Green Bay are fighting it out for that last playoff spot.
And the Eagles currently tied 7-7 with San Francisco in the second quarter at Philadelphia. The 49ers have not won a road game this year. And the Eagles, of course, vying for home field advantage in the NFC. And when we talked with Marty Schottenheimer and asked him, who do you think's the best team around? He said, I know who it is in the NFC. It's the Eagles, he thinks.
They're playing so well. Donovan McNabb gives him a chance. The thing that he does is, and a guy like Schottenheimer knows it, you get a quarterback in there who can make a play occasionally, not every play, but just every game he'll give you 1 or 2 big plays, but he rarely takes the bad play. And when the Eagles struggled earlier this year, that was the problem. McNabb would take too many bad plays.
And the thing is, he's healthy also, Steve. Here's a throw and almost a catch, but it's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 12 at the 13-yard line of the Steelers. Again, they're looking at Antonio Gates. So this free agent rookie who never played college football, Steve, he's the go-to guy now for the Chargers.
And Drew Brees has got to put this ball better. He sees the defense coming over Mike Logan. He was afraid that he was going to cut in front, but he's got to put more on that football and get it up where Gates can catch it.
10-play drive for the San Diego Chargers, and now a big down. Breeze going with double run backs. Lorenzo kneels in to pass block. He comes out of the backfield. Breeze throws, and the catch is made, but it's not for the first down. It's close. It'll bring up 4th down again in less than 2 yards as Antonio Gates makes a play off the turf.
You see how the San Diego Charger team continues to look for Antonio Gates. I mean, this is a guy that goes down and you get your quarterback. A lot of it is not always the play call where you say, okay, you're going to throw it to Antonio, you're going to throw it to Antonio. A lot of times a quarterback just starts to trust one guy more than another. And you have to kind of raise your eyebrows and think, you know, what are they getting for David Boston out there that he doesn't get those balls and a guy who didn't even play college football does?
Well, I'll tell you, Steve, they're not looking at Boston much. I don't know if he's not getting open at all, but Drew Brees now with 4th down and about 2. At the Steeler 5 to the run, and Tomlinson takes it on in. LaDainian Tomlinson busts through the Steeler defense, and the Chargers, who seem to be gone, all of a sudden come back. And Tomlinson has his 14th touchdown of the season on a straight-ahead run on 4th down.
And what a pickup by Tomlinson. You see there, he comes in and weaves back, just weaves down inside, looks for the big guys when he goes in, and what he's looking for is white jerseys. He looks for the white jerseys, gets in behind them, and follows them all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Now the point after try is hit up and good by Steve Christie, a former teammate of yours at Buffalo, and maybe the best cold weather kicker there's ever been.
It's a good thing for today.
Chargers have a score, and they'll kick off in a moment.
Hey guys, meet the new guy.
Hi, I'm Bob Holtkamp.
Hey, help yourself to some snacks.
Speaking of which, you know what would taste good about now?
Yeah, a big, hot and juicy cheeseburger.
With everything.
I can almost taste it.
Telling me, if there were a place to get a hamburger that good this late, I'd not only drive, I'd buy.
Really?
Wendy's classic hamburgers are made fresh, so they're always hot and juicy, so you can eat great even late.
You must be the new guy.
Yeah, thanks.
Wendy's, it's better here.
My husband's going to cut you off when the light turns green. I'm driving with my knees.
You don't always know who to avoid out there.
I'm really tired.
That's why every Saturn L300 comes standard with ABS brakes, traction control, and head curtain side airbags. Finance a new 2004 Saturn L300-1 for $249 a month. See your retailer for details.
Monday, what do you do when your son wants to talk about the birds and the bees?
We lie.
Still standing. Then, can this regular guy write the next Hollywood blockbuster?
Are you scared that one day I might actually be more successful than you?
Yeah, that and Bigfoot really keep me up at night.
Yes, dear. Next on Raymond, think you have trouble with your kids in the morning?
Go to school, you're killing me, man!
And see why 2.5 Men is a People's Choice nominee.
See those little black things? That's his poop.
Awesome. It all happens CBS Monday. And catch Steve Martin on an all-new Late Show.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wendy's Wild Mountain Chicken and Wild Mountain Bacon Cheeseburger. It's better here. And by the new Chevy Malibu. Your private Malibu showing starts at ChevyMalibu.com.
Follow the playoff race through the end of the season with our exclusive projected seeds, brackets, and playoff scenarios. Just click on playoff race at CBSSportsline.com. As the playoff picture coming more and more into focus now. And LaDainian Tomlinson on the payoff end of a 5-yard run with his 14th touchdown of the year. Breeze was 4 of 5 in that drive. Well-played drive for the Chargers. Now the kickoff. Randall L. And he is out to the 28-yard line for Pittsburgh.
You talk about LaDainian Tomlinson. We've been singing his praises all day. He came back into the game after getting nicked up and played it strong and finished it up. Look what he's done here in his first few years in the game. This is the guys that scored 10 or more rushing touchdowns in their first three seasons. Look at those names: Campbell, Dickerson, Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and now LaDainian Tomlinson, that's pretty lofty company, and that's how good he's been his first 3 years. There's no question. He deserves to be in that company.
Kind of guys have their own little wing in Canton. That's how good they are. Here is a handoff, and Jerome Bettis runs again. Bill Cowher said during the season that Bettis is the heart and soul of this team. His per carry average is a concern. Anything that drops below 3.8, he's at 3.4 for the season.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the injuries
no
up front. But and he didn't carry the ball very much in the first half. They were starting to try and wean themselves off, I think, of depending on him so much. They wanted to have him fresh. They thought they were going to leave, let's face it, they thought they were going to be in the playoffs. And they thought, Bill Cowher thought if he could rest him in the first half of the season and play Zaraway, then they'd have him for the playoff push. It just didn't turn out that way.
Hand off to Jerome Bettis, and he takes the ball across the 35-yard line. The Steeler owner Dan Rooney said after last week's game in the locker room that now's the time for these guys to stand up and show their character and play every game to win. That was after the 6-0 loss in the snow to the Jets in the Meadowlands of New Jersey. The Steelers, a very spirited team. There is Dan Rooney, the chairman of the Steelers.
And he is quite a gentleman. Anybody who loves football would love talking to Dan Rooney. He's got a great sense of history and a good sense of just down-to-earth common sense about how to apply it to his team, and it's worked over the course of the decades.
Well, they win a lot here. Here's a throw and an open receiver. Heinz Ward is on the run. And Heinz Ward, with that spectacular ability to break tackles, takes it all the way down to the 35-yard line before Jerry Wilson gets him down. But the Steelers, after they gave up a touchdown, now see their offense hit the big play. 28 yards.
Heinz Ward comes over, and that's what you do. And you got a guy like this, get him in motion and make the defense find him. You see there, two defenders go with Plexico Burress to the sidelines and leave Heinz Ward, the Pro Bowler, standing by himself. You can't win games if you're going to leave Pro Bowlers uncovered.
And he had an open a seam in the zone, as they say, and here is Maddox taking a look, throws downfield, and it's off the hands of a guy that doesn't get it thrown to him much, Dan Kreider, the only NFLer from New Hampshire.
You know, Kreider almost pulls it in. It would have been a great catch, but
very close.
There, yeah. And that's a pass if you're Kreider. Tommy Maddox, you try and get those passes in there. And Kreider's a guy, you know, let's face it, Kreider's not a guy as a fullback who's going to catch 60 balls a year. You give him 1 or 2 every 2 games, and you expect him to catch them.
He almost did. A pitch back. Bettis. Chargers break the blocking scheme down and make the stop, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and almost 10 for the Steelers, as the tacklers were Jamal Williams and Otis Leverett.
When you're playing your offense and you're having a day like the Steelers are, it becomes a point where you throw on 1st down to break a trend. I mean, the Steelers have been running the football really well, but what happens is if you go on 1st down and miss it, you got a 2nd and 10, and then it comes down to you get 2 downs to get 10 yards. If your running game evaporates, you're in deep trouble, because now you end up in 3rd and 10, and you can't make as many of those as you'd like.
Tough down, but the Steelers have been making plays, and now Maddox airs one out. And a collision between the receiver and the defender, inadvertent collision. It's an incomplete pass, and 4th down arises. And is it too long to try a field goal?
Yeah, Jammer once again on Burress, and as they come up the field, you're why they get tangled up their feet. It's incidental contact, and it's a good no call as Burress tries to cut back inside and miss the contact. Jammer's feet get tangled up, and they both go down, and it's an incomplete pass.
They're going to punt the ball. Their punter, their field goal kicker, Jeff Reed, missed 2 tries last week from 43 and 20 yards against the Jets, so they send in Josh Miller to punt.
Miller will punt.
He'll hit the ball at about the 46-yard line of San Diego. Leon Johnson is back, and now a penalty marker is thrown. Delay of game is signaled against the Steelers. I'll tell you what, setting up is a huge game for everybody involved in this division is next week's game between the Steelers and the Ravens at Baltimore.
Baltimore is going to have
delay
that
a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Bill Cowher, is, speculation is his job in jeopardy. Not even a consideration. Not even a consideration.
They're not going to make a change here. Bill Cowher is a great head coach. And it's been different reasons why they've struggled this year, particularly injuries to their offense. But Bill Cowher is entrenched here in Pittsburgh. They like stability here, and it's worked for them.
Well, they've had 2 coaches in 35 years. It sure has worked for them. Now the punt caroms into the end zone off the foot of Josh Miller. On the touchback, it comes out to the 20-yard line. 20-yard net. Tonight, CBS presents an unforgettable holiday story that will remind you that the smallest miracles can change lives. Based on the best-selling book and hit song, Rob Lowe stars in The Christmas Shoes. That's Sunday at 9, 8 Central here on CBS. The Christmas Shoes tonight. So the Chargers get a stop finally after the Steelers scored at will in their first 3 possessions, sustained drives.
Santa taking a few minutes off there before the holidays get started, dressing his Steeler garb.
Got a big trip coming up. Kicking back now, checking out the Steelers before he goes. And the Chargers, and here is LaDainian Tomlinson. Looking like the all-pro he is. They finally get him from behind. Mike Logan runs him down, but he does it 20 yards downfield.
The thing about LaDainian is when he turns the corner, he's so fast and so elusive, and yet he can break tackles. Watch as he comes around, led by Kelvin Garman, right up inside the block, and then hesitation. And I think that's the thing that makes him different. You see guys have the angle on him, and with a little head move, little stutter step right there, and cuts to the outside, he almost gets around Logan for the touchdown. And Logan drags him down, luckily for the Steelers, and stops the huge play.
Here's a swing pass, and a terrific open field tackle. Ball was on the field after he was down. It was Joey Porter who made the tackle. No live ball. It was no fumble. Joey Porter said a couple of weeks ago, we have to make people scared of us again.
So you see there Joey Porter talking to LaDainian. I'll bet LaDainian's telling him it's been a long time since somebody's tackled him in the open field one-on-one. And Joey Porter is a guy, we spoke to him on Friday. Yeah, they are great. They are great. We spoke to Porter on Friday, and he wants this defense to be great. I mean, he wants the people to be scared when they come in here. It's been that case like they used to be. Not so this year.
Handoff, and LaDainian Tomlinson on a draw breaks it, and on a 2nd and long play, a 2nd and 16, he gets back the penalty yardage, or the lost yardage on the swing pass. Brent Alexander is the guy who makes the tackle, and it will now be 3rd down and long, 3rd and about 10. Tomlinson caught 11 passes last week against Green Bay. The Chargers led that game in the 4th quarter, 21-17. And then, as has happened so often, it all came apart, and the Packers scored 21 unanswered points and won the game 38-21.
You see LaDainian Tomlinson here late in the first half. It's already been a long day for him, but he's going to continue to get the football. You see there Brent Alexander being helped off the field. At this point, Tomlinson averaging 4.5 yards per touch. I think you got to give them the ball, Don, enough so that even if their average drops, you keep them around 4 yards per carry. If they get up around 6 or 7, you're not giving them the ball enough. And if they get up around 5 yards per touch, you're not giving them the ball enough. You got to run the football enough so that they can get at least 4 yards a carry, so that you're effective enough and still getting the production and keeping them on the field enough.
Well, for the season, LaDainian is averaging 5 yards a carry. Who needs 3rd down?
I know.
Just need 2 of those.
You got to give them the ball more.
Doesn't work that easily, but 3rd down and 10 for Drew Brees. Here come the blitzers. Chargers pick it up nicely. Downfield throw, and it's broken up beautifully. Coming over to make the play was Ike Taylor, a rookie who says he's trying to act like a vet and play like one, and he does there. A big breakup as we're down now to the 2-minute warning at Pittsburgh, with the Steelers holding to a 21-7 lead.
Simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu, we think they'd agree. It's just about perfect.
Leon, your reactions following today's devastating loss?
Football is a team sport, man. So I got to put the loss squarely on the shoulders of my supporting cast. Look, man, I've been carrying these guys the whole season, but I can't do it all. I need some help.
So your 4 fumbles weren't a factor in your mind?
Not if one of those other guys would have jumped on the ball. Again, Leon can't do everything.
There's no I in team.
Well, ain't no we either.
Well, I think you look great.
This year, the holidays are Gateways, so give the box. Inside, find the season's hottest gifts. For a limited time, get a free Gateway 5-megapixel digital camera with the purchase of select PCs, like our M675, which features an Intel Pentium 4 processor with HT technology. It makes sharing digital pics easy. We also have great desktops starting under $500. So hurry in, give the box.
CBS Friday. The Kennedy Center honors America's best-loved comedian, Carol Burnett. The godfather of soul, James Brown. Director extraordinaire, Mike Nichols. Country western legend, Loretta Lynn, and more. With Julie Andrews, Reba McEntire, Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, and many more. The 26th Annual Kennedy Center honors CBS Friday.
Back at Heinz Field as night starts to fall on this first day of winter. Jill factors in the teens. Wind has not been a factor, though. And Darren Bennett now ready to punt the ball for the San Diego Chargers. One of the best return men, number 82, waits for it. Antoine Randall L. Alternate for the Pro Bowl as a special teamer. The ball is hit high. Randall L. loses the ball. And it looks like he got it back, so the Steelers keep the ball, but barely. As Randall L. on the very high punt by Bennett has problems holding on to it. A 48-yard punt and no return.
What you see there is the ball gets away from him right at the end as he has to move back, and when the ball spirals down at you, it tends to move, and it's got a lucky bounce as it just bounced right away from Justin Peele, who was on the coverage. Justin Peele's going to think about that play all the way home to San Diego, as it was right in his chest and he couldn't grab it and secure the football, and it went back to the Steelers.
So now the Steelers looking to move the ball and run the clock with 1:49 left to play in the half. Back to Jerome Bettis. Bettis now carried the ball 16 times for 47 yards. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer for all of today's NFL scores and stats and highlights. Plus, they'll update you on the playoff picture, which is coming more and more into focus. Dallas goes in today. St. Louis wins a first-round bye. And we'll be back to Heinz Field after this.
What can a toy store teach us about disciplined investing? Not everything that catches your eye is worth buying. At Wachovia Securities, we learn from the world around us to help you find investments that are right for you. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Back to Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. The Steelers, who build a 21-0 lead, 3 touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, now leading 21-7. Bettis turns to the outside and runs his own interference. Nobody there to block for him, so he takes on a tackler and puck knocks him back.
Yeah, the Chargers have really come on here in the last couple of drives. They have really gotten their run defense together and started to play their zone gaps and attack. And that's been the difference. The running game has been shut down for the time being.
Cal. Howie, what are you doing? Man, trying to find the right family gifts. Check out this place. They've got phones, DVD players, digital cameras. Great. And check this out.
Radio Shack has gifts your family will love. Like this Palmsire 21, a Casio S3 digital camera, and a Sony Net Mini disc player.
Where's the sports? Sports? You should be shopping.
That's right. Shop the Shack. Save big.
Radio Shack.
1:32 left to go in the first half. Bill Cowher, in his 12th year as the head coach of the Steelers, a guy who is from the Pittsburgh area, a top player at North Carolina State, and then an outstanding special teams player who began his pro coaching career under Marty Schottenheimer at Cleveland. Maddox on the rollout. Plants, sets, and throws. Incomplete at the 24-yard line. And still with 1:26 left to play, the Steelers now have to punt the ball.
And the Steelers did everything right. They got a formation and a motion that got them man-to-man coverage and tried to get the ball to Randall L. The cornerbacks for the Chargers have struggled thus far today, and Randall L. should have caught that. That was a ball right up on his shoulder pad, and the Steelers, because of that drop pass, are going to have to punt it away late in the first half.
And the Chargers will have enough time to mount a drive. At worst, a long field goal attempt. Here with the ball punted downfield. Leon Johnson, living dangerously, takes it in the teeth of the pursuit and gets it inside the 45-yard line. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer for all of today's scores, stats, and highlights, plus an update on the playoff picture.
Well, now as this first half winds down with 1:17 left on, the Chargers have got a chance to get right back in this game. The great start that the Steelers had off to a quick 14-0 lead. The Chargers can negate that with a touchdown here. They've got one timeout left. They're inside Steeler territory. They've got to come up with a drive to get some points here before halftime and get back in this game.
And the way this game is going, Steve, you really kind of look at two numbers. 21 is in the backfield, and 85, the tight end they've been going to so often, Antonio Gates. Breeze running out of time, and he throws to number 21, who is immediately leveled. James Ferrier, number 51, makes the stop.
Well, that's what happened. LaDainian Tomlinson just ran a little check down, and they tried to get him the ball, and Breeze just took a little bit too long to get it to him because the defense watched watched Breeze's eyes, and you see there as how many receptions they've gone to, 91 this season.
That breaks the team record set by Tony Martin when he played for the Chargers back in 1995. And he caught 90. Here's an out pattern and play on the ball, which was almost a pick. And Jason Gilden going after it.
And Drew Brees has got to do a better job of getting rid of the ball on time that time, but the play before to Tomlinson, he was a little bit late. And watch here. The Steelers sniffed that play out. You can see there, Jason Gilden knew that ball was going out to the hitch route, and he tried to run underneath it, and Breeze threw it wide to prevent the interception.
The Chargers, one of their big problems this year, their ineffectiveness on third down. This is 3rd and 10. They are only 30% success rate converting third downs for first downs. That's 31st in the NFL. 30%. Breeze looking downfield. They give him time. And he's on the run and in deep trouble because these Steelers can run fast. He gets it out to Antonio Gates. And Gates dives ahead. He might have first down. I think he does.
It's going to be very close.
He's got it where the linesman comes in, Steve.
And San Diego called their last timeout.
So Breeze and Gates combine again, and it looks like it'll be a first down.
I know a little something about making good moves. So if you're thinking about Viagra, one of the best moves you can make is a pit stop to see your doctor.
Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you.
Make your move. Talk to your doctor about Viagra today.
To learn more, race over to Viagra.com.
We're back. Marty Schottenheimer has seen his team come back. I think some strong words might have been spoken on the sideline, Steve, after Chargers fell behind 21-0.
I don't know about strong words, but certainly the right words. They have really stepped it up defensively on the Steelers, and maybe a little bit of it is the Steelers with a 2-touchdown lead and scoring every time they got the football. Maybe they kind of let their foot off the gas, but nevertheless, the Chargers came out and answered and have put themselves in position to get back in this ball game before halftime.
The word spoken might have been NFL, not for long. You can get cut in a hurry in this league, and the effort the Chargers put forth early in this game was less than inspired.
And certainly at 3-13, if they end up the season that badly, there's going to be a lot of guys looking for work off of this squad.
24 seconds left. Drew Brees, the all-time Big Ten passing leader, throws to Antonio Gates, who makes a fingertip catch inside the 15-yard line.
Now they're going to have to spike it very quickly here and stop the clock. 10 seconds to go.
Losing a lot of time, so there is 8 seconds left.
I got it.
So this is you take a field goal, or you take a shot at the end zone?
Take one shot at the end. You got to throw the ball one time at the end zone, and it's got to be complete. It's got to be into the end zone. It cannot be short of the end zone in play. It's got to be an out route or in the end zone, one of those two, and that's what the Steelers are thinking right now too. Now they're going to go for the field goal. I don't know about that. I'd take one shot, Don. You're down 14 points. Take one shot at the end zone.
Field goal try is driven up and through, so after falling 21 points behind.
And with that play, Don, they got 4 seconds left. And if they tried one incomplete pass or one shot at the end zone, at least you give yourself a chance to get a touchdown.
They have scored 10 unanswered points. 4 seconds to play in the half.
Time is running out to buy the perfect holiday gift.
To my little friend.
Scarface. Own it. Give it on DVD now.
Who's Chad Brown? He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. So you got to ask yourself, what's it like getting hit by a stick of dynamite? No! Stop playing, Chad.
Come on, Don.
We're back with just 4 seconds to play in the half. So I think you're right, Steve. They could have taken a shot at the end zone, but they took the short points, and they now have 10.
That's why the couple of plays preceding that, if they get the catch, they got to start covering the football. If they spike the ball just 2 seconds quicker or 3 seconds quicker, they get a shot at 7 points, and they get a shot at getting back in the game in a big way, not just 10-21, but maybe 14-21, going just a touchdown down, and with all the momentum before halftime. Plus, you don't have to do this kickoff right before halftime and risk another big play.
Steelers will get one run back as they split kick it down the field. This is Antoine Randall turning wide. You can't run wide in this league. Too many fast guys out there. And there's a penalty marker down.
This will be interesting to see.
Personal foul, face mask. Half cannot end on a defensive penalty.
And it could be.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty by rule. The half can be extended.
I think Bill Cowher has an option. He can take one play or decline it and then take it in for halftime.
Time ran out on the play. So,
yeah, he's going to take.
Sending his guys out there.
Yeah. Now, Carollo might come over and say, do you want to take the penalty or not? And they extend, and now here they come.
The personal foul, face mask is declined.
Yep.
The half is over.
And there you had it.
He's had enough, says Bill Cowher. He wants to talk it over with his guys. Steeler fans boo that. They wanted to see one more play. We'll be joining Jim Nantz and company for the next Tell Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 38.
CBS tonight on TV's most watched new drama, Cold Case, A Hitchhiker's Murder.
Young white male walked into the woods, shot once in the chest.
Looks exactly like a crime from the past.
They think they got a serial murder?
Sounds like it.
And the prime suspect,
Henry Floyd, overall menace to society,
is playing one hell of a game.
He beats a polygraph.
He never spiked.
With Detective Lily Rush.
Come closer, Dolly. I want to tell you something.
All new Cold Case, CBS tonight.
The King of Queens. Catch it. Wednesdays on CBS. It's all here.
For your most important messages, reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
And the wheel goes round. And the wheel goes round, and the wheel goes round.
This year, NFL Sunday Ticket is better than ever. Along with the most NFL games, you'll get NFL Sunday Ticket Game Tracker, where your computer alerts you when games are heating up. NFL Sunday Ticket Enhanced games with live action and updates from other games all on one channel. NFL Sunday Ticket Highlights on Demand, with game highlights on your DirecTV DVR. And now featuring select NFL Sunday Ticket broadcasts in high definition. NFL Sunday Ticket, only from DirecTV.
Sunday Ticket is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, advanced technology that gives you a grip on the future.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report, sponsored by Nextel, nationwide walkie-talkie.
All right, friends, welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Jim Nance from our studios here in New York, along with Dan, Dion, and Boomer. And we have reached halftime at Pittsburgh. Big first half there by Plexico Burress, couple of touchdowns. 21-10. Folks, let's try to sort out that whole playoff picture now. A couple of things have happened here today. Patriots, we know, have already won the East, Chiefs the West. The Colts are in. They can lock up the division with a win tonight over Denver. Meanwhile, the Titans got into the playoffs today as well. All right, let's look at the NFC side. Dallas Cowboys are back in the playoffs for the first time since 1999. They are in, and the Rams and the Panthers already had their division locked up, but the Rams get a first-round bye with their victory today over the Bengals.
Here. One thing, I'm sorry, Jim, that Miami's hanging on by a thread. They need Indianapolis to win tonight, and they also need Green Bay to beat Denver next week in order for them to get in, assuming that they beat the Jets.
Two road games, though.
Right,
two road
exactly.
games. They can forget it.
You think so? You think Denver's going to win one of their final two road games?
Forget it.
All right.
Meanwhile, Denver, though, on the Denver side of this thing, they can get in tonight. Find a way to win at Indianapolis. Here are the Eagles. Deuce Staley has a touchdown in this game, beating the 49ers. Owens does not even have a catch in the first half of that game. Meanwhile, at Seattle, already over 100 for Alexander and a pair of touchdowns. 21-3. Arizona, awful on the road. Let's go to the early finals. Here are the Rams first.
And how about Marshall Faulk? Let's just give it to him. He'll take it in, 1 yard out, 7-0 lead for the Rams. Then Mark Folger later on, he hits Marshall Faulk, who was lined up as a wide receiver. What is that? Well, it's another touchdown, 27-10. Rams go up in front. John Kitna, a bad interception right here. Demetrius Butler basically ends the game for the Bengals. 27-10, the Rams go on.
Unstoppable all season long. Jamal Williams, the big fella, 22 carries, 205 yards. You cannot stop it. Finding daylight, 72-yard touchdown, putting the Ravens up right now. But after the game, Jamal Williams talked about his slow start.
Because we actually knew that they was going to wear it down. You know, they always wear it down late in the game, and we just kept patient, you know. We had to be patient because we knew the runs were going to come.
Hey, that's 500 yards in 2 games. All-time record by one player against a team in a season. Here comes a look at it right now. He's got a chance to break the all-time Eric Dickerson mark, guys. You think he'll do it next week?
I think he will, playing Pittsburgh. Yep. I think he will.
Dan, here are the Dolphins, as we said, still alive.
Big win in Buffalo. Jay Fiedler finds Chris James here for a touchdown. Dolphin defense, 6 sacks. Jason Taylor talks about their playoff chances.
It was a tough week after the loss Monday night. And, you know, guys took a little while to get our energy back and get going again, but coming out today was another chance to play and get another step toward the playoffs, and we did that. So, like I said, we'll see what happens tonight. We got to play well next week, too.
All right, again, they need a little help. They need Indianapolis to beat Denver tonight, then Green Bay to beat Denver next week, and Dolphins have to take care of business as well. They got to beat the Jets. Here come the Titans, Texas. What a finish.
Oh, how about David Carr right here? He finds Corey Bradford at the back of the end zone. This ties the game at 17. And then David Carr goes to look for what? A cell phone? Is there one there? Is there one there? Is this what? No, there's not one there. He's fooling everybody. Now, what is that?
They might get him for that.
Flesh, you never know. How about Dominic Davis? He goes in. 5-yard touchdown. But Steve McNair finds a way to win the game. He throws the ball to Drew Bennett. Gives the Titans a 27-24 victory.
On this last drive, we felt comfortable. We knew that we had to go out and score. When our back against the wall, that's when we do our best.
Again, that was 4th down, the winning touchdown. McNair and the Titans are in the playoffs. Hey, crazy play of the day, turned in by the Saints.
Oh, my. Last play of the game. Playoff hopes on the line. Aaron Brooks finds Dante Stallworth. Watch this. He's running around. Now he's looking to lateral this one.
comes across. He laterals it to Michael Lewis. Michael Lewis runs up the field, nowhere to go. He hands it off to Deuce McAllister. Deuce McAllister almost gets tackled. He makes a nice throw, backwards pass to Jerome Pathon. He goes in for a 75-yard touchdown play.
Everything but the Stanford.
Oh, my Lord.
Stanford band.
And Carney misses the field goal, and Hazlitt, he has heartburn. They're out of the playoffs.
Can you believe that? That eliminates the Saints. Everything but the Stanford band on that play. On the last play of the game, and then Carney, you saw it, missed the point after that would have sent it to overtime. Unbelievable. Saints eliminated from the playoffs. Cowboys are in, though.
Cowboys in. Quincy Carter, 240 yards passing right here. He's up with Jason Witten for 36 yards. Condiff, 4 field goals. Parcells, check this out.
I told him the first day that I ever met him, and I told him the same thing today. Get your expectations up, okay? Because that's where mine are. And so get them up.
All right, they're up, they're in. Cowboys are in the playoffs with that win. Speaking of up and in, Ettinger delivers the winner. Bears are now 7-8. They could be 500 after a miserable start. And the Lions have now lost 24 straight road games. That's an all-time NFL record. And the NFL on CBS will continue. Back to Pittsburgh in just a moment.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Sponsored by Nextel, nationwide walkie-talkie.
CBS Monday. CSI Miami has seen a lot of murder victims.
She's been here over 72 hours.
But never quite like this one.
This woman has perspiration on her.
Oh, my God.
She's still alive.
Don't miss an unforgettable hour of television.
I'm still scared.
I know.
CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
From all of us at CBS, happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Let me tell you about the number 7. It's a card you fold in poker. Snow White had 7 dwarves because the guy who wrote it got sick of coming up with names. But that was before the playoffs, before the drive, before the comeback kid won back-to-back championships in old age. Now 7 makes people sleep better at night. 7's bigger than a city that's a mile high. That's how important the playoffs are. Before they showed up, 7 was just 13 minus 6. But now 7 is 7.
Behind the Scenes with Rich Eisen, only on the NFL Network.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Sponsored by Nextel, nationwide walkie-talkie.
It's halftime in Pittsburgh with the score. The Steelers 21 and the Chargers 10. The NFL on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Without a Trace, Thursdays on CBS. It's all here.
So we're all set for Hawaii. Flight, hotel. Hey, look, we can book surfing lessons.
I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Am I doing this right?
Perfect.
Really?
You're a natural.
Or we can go horseback riding.
Okay.
Activities, another way Expedia helps you create the trip that's right for you.
Expedia.com. I don't think this on-demand thing is for us. Why not? It's for the big guys.
We're big.
What's big? What's big? Biggest people in 6 countries, biggest suppliers in 12 states, biggest an office in Guam. That is big. Yeah, and we have big guy issues. Integration, outsourcing, on-demand issues. So you're saying this on-demand thing is for us. Even though we're not that big. Yet.
Act like a big guy, pay like a little guy.
What?
Meet Ray Lewis, playmaker. He's the greatest show on turf and ringleader of a 3-sack circus.
Send in the clown. Better yet, send in the punter.
Think you can improvise and demoralize Mike Ray?
What you say?
Proving with Playmaker Control. Only in Madden NFL 2004.
The official game of playmakers.
Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? A Pioneer plasma display can deliver more than 1 billion colors, taking high-definition television to a whole new level. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Sunday Ticket is brought to you by Madden NFL 2004 and EA Sports with exclusive Playmaker Control.
Back at Heinz Field, the Steelers lead out the half 21-10. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. This season, when the Steelers have led at the half, they're 5-0. When San Diego has trailed at the half, they're 0-10. But what better time for a change than on the first day of winter?
Well, they've trailed in a lot of games at halftime, but the San Diego Chargers got back into this game after the Steelers absolutely dominated in the early going. They scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and then the Chargers came back and scored 10 unanswered points to only go down by 11 at halftime. But the Chargers have got to continue to get the ball to LaDainian Tomlinson. He's been their offense. He's also taken the pressure off Drew Brees. When they've had to throw the football, it's been the presence of Tomlinson that has made it effective.
Well, as Marty said, their game plan is we're going to hand it to it or throw it to him. He's run the ball 10 times for 45 yards. He's caught it 5 times. But he is playing with an ailing toe. He left the field early at halftime, Steve.
Yeah, he went in. It's still bothering him. He's going to go with it, but he's not going to be as effective or as comfortable out there as he would like to be. And on the other side of the ball, Jerome Bettis has got 17 carries in the first half. That says a lot about what the Steelers thought they could do against the Chargers. And for the most part, they've gotten it done. They've run the ball.
There is Bill Cowher, the man who started his coaching career under Marty Schottenheimer. Marty, a member of the University of Pittsburgh's all-time team as a player, along with Dan Marino and Tony Dorsett, Mike Ditka, Marshall Goldberg going way back. Some great players. Ricky Jackson. Pitt has had some great ones. And Marty, when he comes back to Pittsburgh, immediately as we look at the halftime stats, goes to his favorite hot dog stand up by the University of Pittsburgh, which is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the same 2 guys are running it.
Yeah, he said, we asked him, what did hot dogs cost when you lived around here? He couldn't even remember. It must have been a nickel or something.
He said Sid and Mo were still in there cooking them.
That's right, and they used to draw straws about who'd go down and buy the 4 dozen hot dogs before at night when they take a study break. But these guys, this area of the country has turned out more great players and coaches perhaps than any other. I mean, this is really a hotbed of guys who live it, eat it, sleep it, drink it, breathe it. I mean, this football is really, I guess it runs through all 3 rivers here at this stadium.
And when you're talking about the Pitt all-time team, let me not forget guys like Joe Schmidt and Hugh Green.
You could go on and on that list. There's a lot of great players that grew up in this area.
Larry Fitzgerald will be on the all-time team. Here is Leon Johnson running back the second half kickoff. And he gets it to the 25-yard line, and he's not done until he works his way to the 28. Take a look now at the offensive leaders.
9 for 15 for 64 yards. Had a tough start at the beginning and then bounced back a little bit. He's had trouble finding some accuracy, but LaDainian Tomlinson has been the difference. And there's the tight end.
This guy's a real player,
really
a free agent.
He runs well, he gets separation, and he makes the catch. And I think the one thing that makes a receiver great, and you can laugh at me, but it's their ability to make quarterbacks like him.
Yeah.
And he does have
confidence in him. No question. He has confidence in him. Guy that never played college football. Here is the pitch to LaDainian Tomlinson. A short gain as quickly to make the tackle as 51 James Ferrier. Actually, what Antonio Gates did is he got an agent who took his tape around of some high school and workout stuff he's done. They really liked him in San Diego and signed him. The guy's playing like a high draft choice. Caught 5 for over 100 yards last week against the Packers.
And you see the Steeler defensive numbers, and that a moment ago you saw Ferrier tackle LaDainian Tomlinson again. That's a matter. LaDainian Tomlinson is going to have to get around James Ferrier to make a big play, and it's up to Ferrier to make sure that doesn't happen.
Drew Brees goes to LaDainian Tomlinson, who's built low to the ground at 5'9" or 10, 220 pounds. Tremendous work ethic. They say it's just unbelievable how this guy prepares himself.
And I think that's one of the things that is a lot of times is overlooked. You see these great players, you see them walking around. Some of them really look like professional athletes. But you take it for granted that they've been gifted physically. But the thing you don't realize is how hard these guys work. Professional athletics, particularly professional football, Don, it's not a career anymore. It's a way of life. These guys train and prepare to play year-round.
Well, you get executive money. It's a great job if you're good enough to get it. Here is a throw downfield, and there's a hands catch going high as Kesem Osgood. An 11-yard gain. This rookie from San Diego State with a lot of size. Osgood is 6'5", 209. Another free agent pass catcher.
And this is Drew Brees finding him out on the outside, and you'll watch right there as he turns back inside, and that's a ball that's right on time. Brees has had trouble either getting rid of the ball too quickly for his receivers or holding on to it too late and running out of time. But on that time, he was right where it should have been, when it should have been there.
But it begs the question, Steve, when you see these free agent rookies catching it, what's going on with the $5 or $6 million a year receiver David Boston?
Time out, man, time out.
And that's a good question. He's got 64 catches, as you said earlier, but no question they'd love to get him more involved.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet Specials. Just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th. Only at Southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Just stop. That's not on anybody's list.
Hectic holiday shopping can wear you down, so Staples makes it simple with digital and technology gifts that are easy to buy. And right now, Staples.com orders are delivered free. Holiday gifts at Staples. That was easy.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
The Buffalo Bills look forward to spreading lots of holiday cheer with their old friends and division winners, the New England Patriots, next Saturday on CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
We're back at Pittsburgh. The Chargers, who've scored the last 10 points in this game after falling behind 21-0. It is now a 21-10 game. As you see, we're early in the third quarter. Drew Brees, who was benched for 5 games. Flutie took over then. Back in as the starting quarterback last week and this week. And Ferrier quickly shuts down LaDainian Tomlinson after a short game.
And you just see, Don, as they come out after halftime, the Chargers had a chance to gather themselves and make some adjustments in their run game, their run blocking. What you do is you pick out certain plays that are going to work better against what the Steelers are trying to do to you offensively. And you start to emphasize those runs better. Plus, you go back to things that hurt the Steelers in the first half. And the Steelers are trying to say, well, they hurt us with this, and they're doing the exact same thing. In that case, the Steelers won the chess match.
Steelers, a lot of defensive looks at Tomlinson. Now a throw downfield and a perfect defensive play as Deshae Townsend arrives just as the ball does and pops Osgood and knocks it free.
It's a great throw, but right here, Osgood's got to catch that. And that's a good play by Deshae Townsend, but gets his arm in there, but he's got to shield that away. That was a well-thrown ball, well-timed route. Deshae Townsend getting his arm in there, broke it away. Great play by a defensive back on a receiver. Quick play, tough to defend, but he still got it done.
Broke it up, and it brings up 3rd down and 10. Blitz. Beautifully executed play, and on the run and heading for the end zone is Osgood. The free agent rookie from San Diego State, the former Aztec, on a 3rd and long, breaks it against a blitz. Breeze finds him, and 57 yards later, Osgood is in the end zone.
Osgood starts out on the left side of the formation and crosses all the way across the field. He'll come right across. You see him there darting through, catches it at the fingertips, and when he turned up the field, nobody was going to catch him. Osgood can really run, and he widened that gap on defensive back.
Well, he had 9 catches before that, Steve, an average of almost 20 yards a catch, and now his average goes way up. That was his 10th catch of the year. Good for his 2nd touchdown, and the Chargers, who seemed to be long gone early on, are right back in it.
You're late. Big line at the toll booth. You know those electronic passes? Yeah. Used to be 1 lane, then 2, now 3. And you don't have one? No.
It's the on-demand world.
Huh?
Electronic pass connects to toll booth. Toll booth connects to bank. Bank to your credit card. You come in here with your laptop, click, click, pay your bill through the air. But you don't get it, so you wait in line.
That means something.
The difference in carbs between Miller Lite and Coors Light is only 1.8 grams. You can burn 1.8 grams while you're holiday shopping online. So be a smart shopper and buy some Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light.
Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
The difference in carbs between Miller Lite and Coors Light is only 1.8 grams. You can burn 1.8 grams surfing. Channel surfing. So put down the remote and pick up a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. IBM, official information technology partner of the NFL. And by Mazda, there's a soul of a sports car in everything we make.
Kasim Osgood, a rookie free agent from San Diego State, with the play of his young career, a 57-yard touchdown reception, and the Chargers have come roaring back with 17 straight points and now trail 21-17. Squib kick. It's lateral back. Lee Mays is on the run, and Lee Mays breaks it out across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Let's watch this touchdown again, Steve, on a crossing pattern. He breaks free.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage. He's matched up, and the Steelers bring everybody on the blitz, so that means there's one-on-one coverage in the secondary, and if you catch the ball and get behind the defender, there's nobody left. It's exactly what happened to the Steelers. They tried to get to Drew Brees in a hurry. Brees buys a little time with his feet, and Osgood catches the touchdown. And then he came back on the kickoff and made the tackle.
And in addition to being able to catch the ball well, another thing Osgood can do is run fast. He just ran away from the D-backs of the Steelers. Now the Steelers go to the run and to Jerome Bettis.
As we look back at the first half, the Steelers got off to such a fast start. 3 touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. Tommy Maddox getting a lot of help from that running game, but also being very effective with 2 touchdowns, staying away from the big mistake, and then Jerome Bettis just pounding the football. And Plaxico Burress with 2 touchdowns on 3 receptions. Pretty nice day for a fantasy guy if you got him on your team.
Yes, it is, but they've been quiet for a while, these Steelers on offense. It looked like they took a step back after they built that early 21-0 lead on their first 3 possessions. Zaraway. And the Charger defense rises up as Jason Fisk, a big D tackle from Stanford, comes in and makes the stop.
Well, the series right after halftime is a big one, Don. You go in, you make adjustments just like the Chargers did on offense. Now they did it on defense, and the Steelers have to answer. immediately the Chargers get the Steelers into 3rd and 9 with 2 really nice run defense plays by their defensive line. Fisk stepping into the gap and tackling the runner right at the line of scrimmage.
And that brings up 3rd down and 8. Maddox from the shotgun. Blitzers are aligning. They back off. They come with 4 men on the pass rush. Maddox in trouble. On the run. He's down and sacked, and the Steelers have to punt the ball. The first sack of this day of Tommy Maddox.
And as good as the Steelers looked early in this game, it looks as though they let their foot off the gas.
Otis Leverette's the guy here, Steve.
Yeah, and watch as Maddox steps forward. He starts to feel the pressure, and as Leverett comes through, grabs him and manages to hang on and then rolls up. And Maddox got up limping after that sack.
The Chargers to get the ball back now as the Steeler punter is inside his 30. Josh Miller left foots the ball, a high spiral, well hit. Leon Johnson from inside the 15-yard line. And Johnson takes it straight ahead for an 11-yard return to the 25. Krewalt again on the special teams tackle, but the Chargers now have seen momentum swung to them, and they'll have the ball when we come back.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest rated midsize sedan among owners, and 50 international awards. For the speed readers, the Mazda 6.
Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years plus no monthly payments due until June 2004 or $2,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
First, I emptied the checking account, and then I hit the mall, and there in the window was this sexy little outfit, and oh my gosh, I just had to have it. $1,500 for a leather bustier? I didn't care. It lifts and separates. Plus, it's not like I'm actually paying for it.
Introducing City Identity Theft Solutions, free with any City card. Help getting your life back? That's using your card wisely.
Of all the innovations of the past 100 years, arguably the greatest are the forward pass and the ability to catch the forward pass. Introducing the Canon Digital Rebel, a 6.3 megapixel SLR with the revolutionary Digic chip and CMOS technology. The game has changed. The Digital Rebel, the culmination of 68 years of Canon know-how.
Access NFL.com for live scores and stats. And after the games, AOL members get exclusive NFL.com features only on AOL.
Andy Roddick is the U.S. Open champion. The U.S. Open on CBS Sports.
Tonight, on an all-new episode of Cold Case, a hitchhiker's murder looks exactly like a crime from the past. Now the prime suspect is playing a twisted game with Detective Lily Rush. Don't miss Cold Case tonight at 8, 7 Central, here on CBS. It was a cold case, the San Diego Charger offense early in the game when they were outgained 176-3 in yardage. But now they've come alive. And Drew Brees, with his team down by 4, hands off to Tomlinson. Hit in the backfield, and the Steelers get him down for no gain. Aaron Smith, 91, was the tackler. Marty Schottenheimer, coach of the Chargers, when we met with him yesterday, said, I love Pittsburgh. He grew up 18 miles from here in McDonald, Pennsylvania, same town as Marvin Lewis, the coach of the Bengals, is from. Both had the same birthday, but Marty said growing up, he said, I've been all over the world. I love Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is his home, no question about it. He loves it here. He has a lot of friends and family here, and he enjoys coming back to play.
Brees does a good job getting rid of the ball. Was he in the tackle box, though? The referee, Carollo's right there and says it's a clean throwaway. Pressure was coming on an outside blitz from Jason Gilden, 92.
Well, the Steelers decided at halftime they were going to come out and put a lot of pressure on Drew Brees. I think the plan was if they can stop LaDainian Tomlinson on the run game, then they were going to just force Drew Brees to throw the football around to beat them. And I think that the pressure that the Steelers can bring, they feel like they've got an edge. They've already been burned once in this half, Don, for the long touchdown. We'll see if they can keep it from happening again.
Yeah, the last possession was the 57-yard touchdown to the rookie Osgood. Breeze takes a look. Here comes the heat. Breeze in trouble. Good feet. Stripped to the ball. It's in play. And the Steelers might have it. They do at the 21-yard line of the Chargers. Deshae Townsend got the ball and recovered it inbounds. It was stripped by Troy Polamalu, the rookie from Southern California.
Don, if there's one thing that the San Diego Chargers are just not good enough to do, it's overcome mistakes like this. Breeze trying to make something happen, buys a little time in the pocket, and then as the ball strips loose, it looked like David Boston coming back, gives up. What you see there, no, that's Gates. He comes back and doesn't try to go for the football and leaves it open for Deshae Townsend to cover. I don't know what Gates was thinking. That ball was live.
Wasn't thinking what the Chargers wanted him thinking, as he did not go for the ball, and now the handoff goes to Jerome Bettis, and the yards come grudgingly for the bus as this Charger defense, fired up by the improved play of the offense, which has really ignited things. Donnie Edwards makes another tackle. It brings up 2nd down and 10.
Well, this Charger defense somewhere in the first half decided that they could dominate the Steelers offensive line. The Steelers offensive line is more nicked up even in some ways than the Chargers offensive line, and this defense of the Chargers has decided they're going to get through there and get into the backfield of the Steelers, and that's been the difference, the penetration by the front four of the Chargers.
Maddox looks to the end zone. Beautifully executed touchdown play. Heinz Ward on the payoff end as Maddox makes a laser throw right into coverage, right where it had to be. A perfect throw, and Ward with another Pro Bowl catch.
And you see there Heinz Ward with all the controversy about celebrations in the NFL. He said, my biggest thrill is scoring a touchdown and giving it to somebody who dug into their own pocket and is wearing my jersey.
Yeah, that's what he did. Well, you can see why he's going to 3 straight Pro Bowls.
Watch as he comes up. He's going to plant outside move, get some separation, and a sensational throw by Tommy Maddox. Working there on the outside once again.
And the extra point is up and good, so the Steelers, who've not scored in a long time, capitalize quickly on the turnover. The fumble by Maddox, the recovery by Townsend, and soon after the touchdown catch by Heinz Ward.
Let us read from the playbook, the King James playbook, and Basketball Chosen One asked the soul of the game for court vision. And it was granted to him. Can I get a layup? Layup. The Chosen One didn't ask for hops. Coach Reverend, right? He didn't ask for hand. Why did the Chosen One ask for court vision? I'm going to tell you why. Just listen. He wanted glory for the team. I feel the soul of the game coming over me.
What were we thinking about when we gave the Kia Sedona a powerful standard engine? What were we thinking about when we gave it such a great warranty and priced it thousands less than our competitors? What were we thinking about when we designed it to get the government's highest safety rating? What were we thinking? We were thinking about Scotty, Nanny, Poppy, Uncle Larry, Derek, Eric, Dad, and Mr. Mophead. The always family-friendly Kia Sedona. Get remaining 2003 Sedonas from $17,615 after $3,000 cash back. Hurry, offer ends soon.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by NikeBasketball.com and by Circuit City. We're with you.
Heinz Ward with reason to smile, one of the best players in the NFL, and Maddox with 3 touchdown throws today. That was Heinz Ward's 10th touchdown reception this season. What a player.
It was the first turnover of the day, Don, by the Chargers, and it led directly to points.
Ward with 3 straight seasons with over 1,000 yards receiving. Now Jeffrey kicks off for the Steelers. Leon Johnson from the 8. 20. Leon's out to the 32-yard line. And there, the Chargers go on offense. Which team stadium is the toughest place today to play in a road playoff game? Green Bay, Indianapolis, Kansas City, New England, Philadelphia, St. Louis. Cast your vote at NFL.com.
That's my experience right there, Kansas City. And I think they're the team that will benefit most, and they'll be the team that is hurt the most by not getting home field advantage. If Kansas City doesn't play at home in the playoffs, they don't win.
Well, they might be playing at home the first week in a wild card. That's still to be decided. Handoff, LaDainian Tomlinson takes on the Steelers and breaks it. He's got that unbelievable ability that all the great ones do to cut back and accelerate, and he's ahead for 13 yards.
You know, one of the reasons the Steelers have struggled somewhat at this time of the years and throughout the years, when things go well, they tend to let up. And you saw it in the first half, and you see it here again. They had the big strike just a moment ago to Heinz Ward, and their defense comes out and just doesn't play with the same intensity. And in this league, San Diego Chargers, 3 wins or not, they're good enough to take advantage of that lack of emotion.
And a catch, and that is Antonio Gates, the rookie. As James Ferrier is out and quickly.
You watch as this game's going on. San Diego had climbed back into it, came out after halftime and looked good, but then Drew Brees, trying to buy time for himself, is chased down from behind. The ball is pulled out, stripped out, and covered by the Steelers. And then 2 plays later, you cannot do that any better than those two just did, Heinz Ward and Tommy Maddox. What a great pass play.
There is a handoff. Brees doing a nice job seeing play faking him. And he's got a great ability to hand off and then make the defenders think he's still got the ball.
Yeah, and a lot of times, in fact, they'll use the quarterback's ability to handle the football as an extra blocker. Watch as Drew Brees comes back. Watch the defense chase him because they don't know if he has the ball or not. You see just a couple of guys take an extra step towards the quarterback and allow LaDainian Tomlinson just to slip by. And it's just one little extra split second that your offense gets and a little more room that your running back gets.
Brees has now hit 13 of 21 throws, 139 yards and a touchdown. Here's Tomlinson on first down, and he advances to the Steelers' 41-yard line. Ferrier and Townsend were on the stop. Deshae Townsend with a huge play in this game, jumping on that fumble, to say nothing of Palomalu stripping Brees of the ball.
And Townsend doing a great job. That ball was headed for the sidelines fast, and Townsend alertly got on it after Palomalu got it loose. I mean, the sharpness of this team is really, really good because it's tough to think about staying in bounds when you're just trying to get to the football. Not only did he recover it, but he did it in bounds, and that was crucial, obviously.
Brees on 2nd and 7. Long ball. Coverage is good. Intercepted. What a play over the shoulder by Deshae Townsend, who's having perhaps a career day. The last 2 possessions of the Chargers, he has gotten turnovers.
He's working against David.
Recovery on the previous possession and an interception here.
David Boston once again, no play to be made.
Hurry into Circuit City today for big savings on all your last-minute gifts. Save on the year's hottest DVDs, CDs, video games, and more. And be sure to pick up a Circuit City gift card, too. Plus, get this 7-inch widescreen portable DVD player for just $199.99. And save $30 on this Sony 3.2 megapixel digital camera. Only $269.99 after rebate. Save on all your last-minute gifts today at Circuit City. We're with you.
What's that you have?
A bottle.
A bottle? Brilliant! What do you do with it?
Well, I have found a way to fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
And you drink it straight from the bottle no matter where you are?
Yes.
Drink beer straight from a bottle? Brilliant! What else you working on?
You know the bread we use for our sandwiches?
Yes.
I've concocted a machine that slices it for you.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
It's finally here. SWAT on DVD.
Let's try to get in the killing mode.
I am in killing mode.
So why are you smiling?
Because it tickles me.
Get the DVD loaded with action-packed special features.
I'm starting to like this already.
SWAT. Buy it December 30th on special edition DVD.
Norelco Advantage with gel prevents nicks and cuts. Oh, how we'll miss them. Advantage from Norelco. Ultra close, ultra comfortable. Guaranteed.
CBS Monday. What do you do when your son wants to talk about the birds and the bees?
We lost.
Still standing. Then, can this regular guy write the next Hollywood blockbuster?
Are you scared that one day I might actually be more successful than you?
Yeah, that and Bigfoot really keep me up at night.
Yes, dear. At a special time. Right after Still Standing. CBS Monday.
Deshae Townsend, a 6-year veteran from Alabama, with another huge play.
Just on the sidelines, over-the-shoulder catch, looked like a wide receiver. David Boston couldn't even get close enough to keep him from catching the football.
Now the Steelers working from deep in their own end. They come out throwing, and the ball is dropped. Plexico Burress had it on his hands and lost it.
And that's a play that Plexico Burress has got to make. And this is a ball that comes out. They're just going to run to the sticks. You're trying to run out just deep enough to get the first down. And he does everything right. He turns his entire body, gets both hands back, but just can't reach out and pull it in. Sometimes even if you do things right, Don, it doesn't work out.
Not having a terrible day, though. He's got 3 catches for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I'm sure he's not going to stay awake tonight worrying about that drop.
But the Chargers looking now to get a 3-and-out defensive stop. 2nd and 10. Jerome Bettis gets some yards out to the 7 or 8-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 6.
You see here's Jerome Bettis, and what a difference he's made. 17 catches, 17 touches in the first half, and he was absolutely physically dominating early on. You see Harris just get first down after first down, and then he creates the situation for Plexico Burress to go deep and get the touchdown. Everything came off of this, running tough inside for the touchdown. Those first 3 possessions of the Steelers, I don't think I've seen a more impressive 3 drives consecutively by any team this season.
They were good. Bettis working hard, 20 carries, but only 52 yards. Throw by Maddox. He gets it to Amos Zaraway, and famous Amos gets ahead and gets a first down, then loses the ball. They are ruling the ball is down.
Yeah, I think he tried fumble. He tried to reach forward, and a ball hit the ground and popped out of his possession. It's a good call by the official. At least at this point, it looked that way. And Amos Zaraway making the catch. Got to make one guy miss, then keeps his balance, makes another guy miss, and lunges for the first down. And there you see the ground causing the fumble, and it's a good call by the official. No question about it. It's not a fumble, but a great first down effort.
But it wasn't far from a fumble. Very close.
Far enough, I guess.
And the Steelers drive on, getting a first down. Back to Jerome Bettis, still working hard, trying to break free, slams the ball down. The Chargers doing a good job. Otis Leverett, a 3rd-year DN from Alabama Birmingham's making a lot of stops, number 93.
And this is a defense that has really stepped it up after a slow start. We mentioned how effective the Steelers were early on, but I think some of it has been the Chargers' ability to make adjustments as to what the Steelers are doing and really play better defense.
Maddox with a long count on 2nd down. Back to the Bucs. This time he gets some room. Bettis on the run. First down and a lot more as he crosses the 35-yard line and gets to the 37. A gain of 20 yards on the play.
You're talking about a guy that's got over 10,000 yards in the league. He's number 8 all-time, and he just moved into 7th place all-time, passing our CBS's own Marcus Allen on the all-time list. He still has the spring in his step to outrun people up the field. That guy, look at that, 12,000 yards, and that's some very, very lofty company that Jerome Bettis finds himself in the midst of.
Well, he's before the season is done, it looks like he'll go by Jim Brown. Pitch back. Here comes Randall L., a former Indiana quarterback runner, and he makes a completed throw downfield to the 47-yard line. A 10-yard gain to Heinz Ward.
You can see there Tommy Maddox trying to buy Heinz Ward a little time, turning into the pass protector. Watches Maddox. He's going to end up blocking on Marcellus Wiley. Not something you're going to make money doing, but
a pretty nice looking throw.
Well, it's a nice throw by Randall. Watch that. Heinz Ward will take that reception. Great, really nicely conceived play by the Steelers. A pitch back to your punt returner. And as everybody jumps into the fray to try and tackle him, Heinz Ward, your Pro Bowl receiver, stands alone on the sidelines. Great play.
Gain of 9.5 yards. Second and actually less than 1. Bettis running up and out. He gets across midfield. It's a first down. What is the future of Jerome Bettis in Pittsburgh? We asked him about that.
I see myself in a Steelers uniform next year. That's something that, you know, I really believe can happen, and it should happen. But, you know, crazier things have happened. So, you know, you can't worry about it, and I don't. So what I do is just, you know, I'm going to play these games out and wish for the best.
Well, there's thousands of fans here in Pittsburgh that would love to see Jerome Bettis come back and play another year in a Steeler uniform.
All of a sudden, the Buffs are really starting to grind it out. This time it's an 8-yard gain as he drives the ball down to the 40. But when they hand out game balls today, if the Steelers win this, Steve, Deshae Townsend's going to be first in line.
Yeah, and also Jerome Bettis. I mean, as you talk about what happens to Jerome after this year, yeah, I'd love to see him. I think he should be playing football in the National Football League. He's good enough. But the question is this, Don. How much money is a guy like Jerome Bettis going to make at this point in his career? He's not going to give you a $5 million a year worth of production, even though you may want to give it to him.
Well, we'll see what happens after the season when everything is reviewed. As Amos Zaraway, the former West Virginia runner, turns it outside, and he gets another Steeler first down as they now run the clock and the ball. A 5-yard gain by Zaraway.
So many things happen in the offseason, Don, and you talk about what Jerome Bettis. It may not be that the Steelers don't want him to be on their team or that they don't think he's good enough. It may come down to a business decision. It may come down to the fact that his cap number, for salary cap number, may be too big for this team to make room to keep him, even though the fans want him back. He wants to come back. The club wants to come back. It may end up, if he comes back, a huge restructure of his contract for him to do that.
Here's a reverse, and Heinz Ward turns the corner. Gets one block, puts his head down, and drives down close to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. And that'll do it for 3/4 of play in all probability. So the Steelers, who were challenged after taking a 21-0 lead, and then the Chargers come back and score 17 straight points. Now the Steelers in command, 28-17 after 3/4 of play. We'll return to Heinz Field after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 38.
Critics call the Christmas shoes compelling, a touching holiday story that grabs the gut and refuses to let go. Rob Lowe in The Christmas Shoes, CBS tonight.
Catch 2.5 Men, TV's most watched new comedy, Monday on CBS.
Sunday Ticket is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, advanced technology that gives you a grip on the future.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Ask your doctor about new Levitra. But once you get in the zone, it's good. Ask your doctor if a new choice is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
Hey, sweetheart.
I miss you.
Miss you too.
What did you do today?
I played soccer.
For your most important calls, reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
Santa among the assembled crowd here at Heinz Field, sold out. It always is in Pittsburgh, as the Steelers right now with a 28-17 lead to open the fourth quarter. Don Cookie with Steve Tasker and Tommy Maddox at quarterback. Right back to the money player, Jerome Bettis, pounds ahead. On a 2nd down and 5 play, he only got about a yard. The playoff picture coming more and more into focus.
As you see here, these are the teams you got to watch. Cincinnati took it on the chin today. Miami still alive. They beat Buffalo, and Denver obviously still alive as well. And those are the 3 teams you have to watch. And Baltimore, Cincinnati, they are tied to each other. Whoever falters is going to go down. And today, Baltimore won, Cincinnati lost. But Cincinnati has the tiebreaker if they end up with the same record.
Yeah, but they have to win next week against the Browns, and the Steelers have to beat the Ravens at Baltimore for Cincinnati to get in. Zaraway loses the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of, you know, good faith humor here. Zaraway drops it. Yeah, the guys.
You're going to run with it, you're going to get hit in this league.
With me, you're going to get thrown down, especially if you put your stiff arm out. And that's life in the fast lane. That's life in the fast lane in the NFL.
Now a field goal try from 47 yards out for Jeff Reed. He's missed 7 of his last 13, and now Tommy Maddox wants a timeout.
They ran out of play clock. That's a bad play by the Steelers. It's just absolute laziness not getting up to the line in time.
You, me, outside. We gotta talk. A minivan? It gotta be like, what kind of action do you think we're gonna get in a minivan? You might as well walk around in a skirt. We had game then. And then you go and... Nice. It's got a big back seat.
The Odyssey from Honda.
One and only Docker Stain Defender.
Sometimes all it takes is a switch. So find out if switching to new Levitra is your next move. Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
The experts at Oral-B are on a mission to protect your teeth and gums with the new Oral-B Professional Care 7000. Its 3D action removes more plaque than Sonicare Elite and even reverses gum disease. Oral-B Professional Care. Brush like a dentist.
This week, at 15, he weighed 509 pounds. This past August, he underwent the ultimate operation, and you won't believe how much he weighs now. His story plus Steve Martin this week on The Early Show.
Back to Heinz Field on this December day with the Pittsburgh Steelers with a big early lead. Then the Chargers roared back to trail by 4 after being down 21-0. And now the Steelers capitalizing on a turnover earlier by Deshae Townsend, the defensive back, who got a fumble recovery, which they quickly turned into a touchdown. And now in this possession, the Steelers looking for a long field goal try by Jeff Reed from 47 yards out. Kick is on the way. It's well hit. It's long enough. And it is good. So Jeff Reed breaks out of his slump, and the Steelers extend to a 31-17 lead. Bunch of happy guys on that long field goal success. Reed will kick off in a moment.
At Miller, we brew great tasting beer because you can get in line and take what they give you, or you can make your own choice. Miller, good call.
It's the JCPenney Last Minute Gift Sale. Sunday through Wednesday, save 20 to 60% off great gifts, plus $10 instant coupon savings. Or give JCPenney gift cards the perfect last minute gift.
It's all the inside.
JCPenney.
Introducing Remington's new Titanium Smart System, the only shaver that combines the sharpness of titanium-coated blades with the technology to automatically clean itself. It could just make all other shavers obsolete.
All right, here we go. On 3. 1.
The CR-V from Honda. For the way you really live. Or want to.
Okay, plan B.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Honda Odyssey. There are minivans, then there's the Odyssey. The new Remington Titanium Series, the shaver with the sharpness of titanium-coated blades. And by Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
The Steeler players were given a mandate for the last 2 games to play to win as hard as they can. Let's be as good as you can be heading into the offseason, and that's what they've done today. They broke out to an early lead. Saw the Chargers come back, and now the Steelers have extended to a 31-17 advantage in the 4th quarter. Reed with the kickoff after his 47-yard field goal. Leon Johnson. Boy, there were some major league collisions. Used to be in that business, Steve, for a lot of years.
And I'm glad I'm not now. That is a car wreck right there. As you look at these two teams, we've talked about how they're out of the playoffs. There are some teams who have made the playoffs already, starting with in the AFC, the Patriots. This is a team who absolutely stumbled coming out of the blocks this season, going 0-2, losing badly, getting shut out on opening day, and then found themselves, and Tom Brady really was the difference maker. And this club, as good as they've played, have not gotten enough credit, Don.
It's unbelievable. Their defensive schemes. I mean, they got intercepted Pennington 5 times last night, the Patriots. And still, the Jets were in the game right till the end. And not much going on for LaDainian Tomlinson as the Steelers close it down. Joey Porter said their mindset of the Steeler defense is to beat people up and try to turn the ball over.
Well, he says they want to start doing that in warm-ups. I mean, I had played in here against this Steelers team, not in this stadium, but in the old Three Rivers. And this Steeler defense, when you walked onto the field here in Pittsburgh against this team and this defense, you were really quiet. I mean, you didn't talk much of anything. They were a scary, scary bunch to come into, and they want to get that way again.
And Breeze has lost one of his best targets, Antonio Gates, sidelined right now with a sprained ankle. His return is questionable.
New plant location?
San Diego.
San Diego.
The ocean.
The sun.
The people.
A problem.
Problem?
Prices.
Big problem. Solution?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Good paper.
Best paper.
Pittsburgh paper. Perfect. Pursue the potential Pittsburgh property pronto. Let's eat.
Nextel walkie-talkies get it done.
Be there first, where no sports sedan has been before. The all-new 270 horsepower Acura TL, a higher form of performance.
I think my mom and dad are gonna live to be 200. Because they're very special people in my world. Not having parents would be hard, 'cause you would be stinky, 'cause you wouldn't have a bath.
CBS Tonight, a hitchhiker's murder.
Young white male walked into the woods, shot once in the chest.
Looks exactly like a crime from the past, and the prime suspect is playing one hell of a game.
Maybe it's a polygraph.
With Detective Lily Rush.
Come closer, Dolly. I want to tell you something.
All new Cold Case, CBS Tonight.
Back at the Heinz Field visitors sideline. The look of winter on Jamal Williams. He got the full headgear on.
It's chilly down there, and since it's gotten nightfall, it's gotten a lot colder.
Unfortunately, didn't play for Bud Grant, the Vikings coach, who wouldn't let guys in the 20 below zero even wear gloves, let alone heated benches.
David Boston catches the ball.
Big deal. It's a little late.
A little late for that. We've got a guy, Charger, that having trouble collecting himself. It's Kelvin Garman. And this is an offensive line for the Chargers that has really been devastated by injuries. And 6 guys on the offensive line they've lost to injuries. And you can tell when you're 5 guys deep and you lose 6, you're thin.
Game of attrition at this point.
The 7-passenger, electronic 4-wheel drive Acura MDX. Power and safety, living in perfect harmony.
Where will you be when your diarrhea comes back? You should have taken Imodium the first time. It stops diarrhea, often in just 1 dose. Imodium AD. Don't wait till it's too late.
Observe the panicked look of shopper last-minuters. Fortunately, Hellsberg Diamonds' value promise ensures the perfect gift at the perfect price. Behold, shopper saved his buttercups. Hellsberg Diamonds. Confidence comes in a burgundy box.
Mary Mug, smooth and stubble free. Hugs his mug, no pull, no tug. Reflex action's key. Oh, Mary Mug, smooth as smooth can be. Give your guy a real go. Shave some clothes, less clothes can be.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hellsberg Diamonds. Confidence comes in a burgundy box. And by Imodium. Where will you be when your diarrhea comes back?
Always leading the Heinz Field delegation in Christmas decorations. Section 517.
Become a tradition here, I guess. Here's Garman again. It looks like he's got poked in the eye.
Yeah, might have got
looking at his eye and then flushed it out as well.
So Kelvin off for hopefully only a brief time as the Chargers go back to the run into Ladini and Tomlinson, who runs the ball straight ahead. But they need big plays downfield now, trailing with 12:53 to play by 14 points.
It doesn't look like they spotted the ball far enough for a first down. They're going to measure.
CBS Monday starts with Still Standing at a special time, followed by Yes Dear. Then it's the Emmy Award-winning best comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, and the new hit comedy 2.5 Men, followed by Monday's #1 drama CSI Miami, plus an all-new Late Show with David Letterman, Monday here on CBS, America's most watched network. Here come the chain markers out. Talking about Dan Rooney and coaching, and the Steelers with 2 coaches in the last 35 years, Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher. And he said, you know, the key to an organization's success is stability. And as soon as you change coaches, it's unstable. So many other things have to change.
And it comes down to one thing, too, Don, and the Rooneys have done this over the 2 guys they picked. They picked the right guys. And so many organizations, after a short tenure of a head coach, they feel like they didn't, and they change it. But they stick it out. I mean, they give them a chance to grow. Bill Cowher had never been a head coach at the NFL before he got this job, and they let him grow into it, and he's done an outstanding job.
He has had playoff teams his first 6 years with the Steelers.
You look at, these are some of the active coaches with most wins. You see both of these two guys here on the ends. It's pretty lofty company there. Bill Parcells back in the game. Bill Cowher.
And back in the playoffs.
Back in the playoffs, yeah. Marty Schottenheimer. It's amazing. 17 years as a head coach, 2 losing seasons.
This, of course, is one of them. The Chargers right now would pick first in the draft. There's a downfield throw, beautifully executed. Coming down with the ball is Justin Peel, a big tight end from Oregon. He's downfield for a 24-yard gain.
Drew Brees put a nice little bit of pepper on this throw. Watch, he comes out and watch LaDainian Tomlinson gets a nice block on Porter and gives LaDainian Tomlinson or gives Brees enough time to throw the football out to Peel. Great job by Tomlinson on the pickup, and Peel turning and catching that ball downfield.
So the Chargers moving the ball, as you see Drew Brees building his numbers, 15 of 24. The one interception, a stop could have been a touchdown drive. Here's a throw to an open receiver, and Sim Osgood. Well, Sim Osgood was in the end zone from 57 yards out earlier. And the rookie from San Diego State is ahead for a 29-yard gain.
Well, this is exactly the kind of drive that San Diego needed. They need to come down, get some big plays in the passing game, and that was a sensational throw right down the pipe by Brees, right over the top of the defender inside the hash marks, and Osgood playing extremely well here in the second half for the Chargers with the big touchdown and then the big catch to get him first and goal inside the 5.
Inside the 5 it is. First and goal from the 4. Tomlinson, number 21, ready to get the ball. LaDainian Tomlinson, he's down to the 1-yard line. A little outside the 1. Ferrier stopped in short of the goal line. Second down and goal.
Tomlinson, just like his counterpart Jerome Bettis, they both have that knack for being inside the 5-yard line. It's easy to get into a hurry where you just think you want to run in there and just push the pile over the goal line. Both these guys have the ability to hesitate for a split second and to find a split second, a small split in the defense, a gap, and wriggle through it for the most yards possible, even in tight quarters.
See if he can wriggle into that line again. Tomlinson heading down and in. A touchdown for the Chargers. And again, they rally back and are an extra point away from being 7 down.
What a move.
15th touchdown of this season for LaDainian Tomlinson.
What a move. Just as he takes the handoff, he has to do a 2-legged cut and hop sideways around the pursuit of the defense. Watch, just as he gets the ball, watch him going to hop right straight sideways and then split the defenders and bull his way into the end zone. That play was made by Tomlinson right at the point of attack, and he got in the end zone.
Extra point is hit up and good by Steve Christie. So the Chargers keep coming back, and there's still a long way to go.
Scenes with Rich Eisen, only on the NFL Network.
During his career, Bill Cowher is 5-1 against the Chargers. And now he sees the lead cut again as Tomlinson's in the end zone with his 15th touchdown of the season. Tonight, on an all-new episode of Cold Case, a hitchhiker's murder looks exactly like a crime from the past. Now the prime suspect is playing a twisted game with Detective Lily Rush. Don't miss Cold Case tonight at 8, 7 Central, here on CBS.
There's been a couple of times during this game where San Diego looked to be out of it, and each time they've battled back to give themselves a chance to win. With 10 minutes left, it looks as though they're right back in the thick of this game, only down a touchdown, and their defense has been playing very well in the second half.
That was Brees talking to Brian Schottenheimer, Marty Schottenheimer's son, who's the quarterback's coach. Brees playing brilliantly in that drive, 3 for 3 throwing the ball for 59 yards. I'll tell you, these rookie free agent receivers, though, for the Chargers, they're something. Really good players. Here's Lee Mays. And Mays breaks it out to the 35-yard line with still 9:55 left to play in the game.
You talk about teams in the AFC that are headed to the playoffs, and we already spoke about New England, but the Indianapolis Colts, with that guy Peyton Manning at the helm, I think for my money at this point, Don, he's the MVP of the league. He means probably more to his team's success than any other player in the league. He's got Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison playing as well as anybody.
And the big thing they finally have a defense. I mean, they've got a physical, fast defense led by Dwight Freeney as a pass rusher.
We're 11-3. They're in the playoffs, and we'll see what they can do.
There's a throw to Heinz Ward in the flat. A timing throw off the hand of Tommy Maddox, and Heinz Ward is ahead. For a gain of 14 yards before Zeke Moreno and Ben Lieber get him down.
The Steelers offense, the one thing that Mike Mularkey, the coordinator, is able to do is he finds so many different ways to get the ball to so many different people. And when you see him complete passes like that to Heinz Ward, you see him pitch the ball to Randall L in the backfield or hand it to Heinz Ward in the backfield. It just makes it look so easy. And you wonder why other offenses don't make it look so easy just to get the guy to the playmakers on your offense. The Steelers offense is built for that.
Well, the Steeler offense built for power, and here is the power back. Jerome Bettis banging ahead. Again, the linebackers come over to make the stop. Middle backer Zeke Moreno, an interesting background. He's from the San Diego area, from Chula Vista, California. And Moreno is from you talk about a football background, Steve. His mother played tackle football. She was a linebacker and running back for a professional or a women's team in San Diego. It's called the Mighty Mamas.
Yeah,
and a great team they were.
Over Thanksgiving dinner, they talk about scraping to fill the outside gap.
Another former Trojan from Southern California stepping into the middle backer role, and now it is second down and almost 6. Hand off, and Bettis powers the ball down to the 41-yard line, riding the bus for a first down, a 7-yard gain.
This is really discouraging for the Chargers. They've got to find a way to stop the run game. If the Steelers can come out in the fourth quarter and run like this, that's when you know you're in deep trouble. And as an offense, you just came down and answered their score, got it to within a touchdown. You need the football back, and you have to stand on the sidelines and watch the Steelers just run for first down after first down.
Well, Jerome Bettis has run for over 100 yards today. He's gone to number 7 on the all-time list, and he's approaching Jim Brown at number 6. And he's not done. Jerome Bettis to the 35-yard line.
You talk about runners like LaDainian Tomlinson and Jerome Bettis. The Chiefs have got a guy in Priest Holmes who can do it all as well. They've got Tony Gonzalez at tight end. Priest Holmes, who is always an MVP candidate. And Trent Green finding a way to get them the football. But the Chiefs, with such an amazing start to their season, winning so many games before getting their first loss, you wonder how far they can carry that into the postseason. I think, Don, it's more important to play well at the end of the season in the playoffs than it is to get off to that fast start.
Well, they've lost 3 of their last 6 of the Chiefs, and they've got the Red Hot Bears coming into Kansas City next week. Here is Bettis turning the corner and driving ahead very close to a first down near the 30-yard line.
They're going to give him the first down. And I'll tell you, Jerome Bettis just seems to be on another level, particularly in the fourth quarter. He is so big and so fast. When he gets to the corner, you get the feeling that the defenders are just tired of tackling him. You know, he had 17 carries in the first half. He's got a bunch in the second half, and those defenders are just starting to flinch when they see him coming around the corner.
And he's coming around the corner a lot. He's carried 29 times today for 111 yards. This former captain of Notre Dame, who the Steelers say is the cornerstone of their team. Both the coach and the players say this is Jerome Bettis' team. And here is a throw as Maddox sees the blitzer coming. Moreno is coming up the middle, and Maddox does a good job throwing it away.
Yeah, he threw that one away, I think, a little quick. He saw the blitz coming, and instead of trying to buy just a little time, he threw it right into the feet of the blitzer and didn't have time to wait for Dan Kreider to come open in the flat. And the one good thing that comes out of that is you get second down and 10 and not an interception going the wrong way.
People watching in Chicago, Dick Geron's Bears, they've now won 6 of their last 9. And they had to a litany of mistakes in the recent years for Chicago. I think number 1 will be firing Dick Geron. These guys want to play for him, and they're winning with him.
I think it's important for teams to evaluate everything, not just the head coach and the coaching staff and the players, but also how they do business in the front office, how they pick their players. Were the players good enough? Did they get everything they expected out of those players? You can talk about strategy and sideline and game management all you want, but there's a lot of things that go into putting a great team on the football field at this level, and not all of them have to do with what happens between the sidelines on Sundays.
Well, like Dan Rooney said, when you change a coach, so much else has to change. It just destabilizes the whole franchise. Constant change leads to nothing but lack of success, and Heinz Ward is on the run inside the 25-yard line and down to the 22. A 9-yard gain on the play.
9-yard gain, but not quite enough for the first down, and they're going to send the field goal unit out again. And this is a blitz read. Heinz Ward sees the blitz, just stops, looks for the football. Tommy Maddox sees the blitz, gets the football to him, but it was just too long a third down conversion. Even though they executed the play well, it was just too much to pick up for the first down.
This will be a 40-yarder. Jeff Reed on his only other try today hit from 47. Guy who had struggled recently coming into this game, missing 2 field goals in a 6-0 loss last week. But he's on time again right down the middle. And the Steelers build their lead. They now lead 34-24.
Now once again, you talk about the Chargers being down by 10. They answered with a touchdown. Now they've got to do it again. Can they answer a touchdown to Pittsburgh Steelers field goal and give themselves a chance to get back in the game once again? They've battled all day, but I think it comes back to this. The Steelers just got off to a faster start.
Marty Schottenheimer telling his guys, get after it. They've done it a lot of times. It's been a days of comeback.
There you see.
Day of comebacks is who's hot and who's not. Looking at the playoffs, the Eagles with 9 straight wins, holding to an advantage over the 49ers.
New England with 11 straight wins. Minnesota is back up, winning against Kansas City at home, and then Tennessee, who struggled. McNair is not the guy he once was. He's hurt all the time. Kansas City, with the loss in Minnesota, has lost 2 of their last 3. And Carolina, after their blazing start. You know, you look at these 2 bottom teams. They really started off fast. Oh, both of them were 6-0 at one point in the season. Kansas City went on to win even a few more games.
But Kansas City coming back to the field lately with it. You know, they got ripped for 45 points in their last 2 games. That's not a Super Bowl team. To see what the Eagles are doing, leading 21-20 over the 49ers in the 4th quarter at Philadelphia.
And that's for home field for Philadelphia. And I'll tell you what, if Philadelphia gets home field, they're going to be tough to beat. Every team's tough to beat at that point. But I'm telling you what, there are some teams that are tougher than others at home.
My guess in Super Bowl 38 on CBS February 1, Eagles versus Patriots. Eagles a slight favorite. Patriots a 6-point winner.
I think you're right. The Patriots are tough to beat on game day. And with a 2-week window for a Super Bowl, which I think there is a 2-week window this year between the championship games and the Super Bowl. That's too much time for Bill Belichick to install a game plan.
The bus, he said, that heart has got to be pounding today because the bus is pounding the San Diego defense. And now a bouncing kick and chasing after is Leon Johnson. And Leon is swept under by a wave of Steelers inside the 15-yard line, led by Chris Doering.
As we watch them cover that kick, you think more about the playoffs. Steve McNair of the Titans, early on in the year, he was the MVP of the National Football League, but it's a 16-game season, and if you can't stay healthy enough to be in there every week or play your best, the field is going to catch up to you. But McNair, if he plays well and feels good, Tennessee is too tough to beat. I mean, they are a team that brings it every week, and they can beat anybody on any given Sunday. And you look here, quarterback injuries are the big question mark. If McNair plays and plays well, they're the team to beat.
But he's a question mark every week now, Steve. The guy is so beat up, McNair. They had to go to Neil O'Donnell, who hadn't played football since a year ago. They just signed him the past week. He was retired, living in Nashville. Here is LaDainian Tomlinson working it out. Ahead for a gain of 13 yards and a first down to the 25-yard line. Alexander gets him down.
You know, with less than 5 minutes to go in the game and you're down by 10, you go no huddle, but LaDainian Tomlinson is still a part of your offense. And a big play in the run game is as good as a big play in the passing game. Look for him to still be involved.
Intercepted. And the Steelers, Deshae Townsend's heading for the end zone. Here's a guy that has 2 turnovers today, a fumble recovery and interception. His second interception of the day is the knockout punch.
You want to talk about bad luck, Don? The Chargers got it. The umpire in the backfield got in the way of LaDainian Tomlinson and made Drew Brees reload the pass. Watch right here. The official's going to try and stay out of the way, and Tomlinson's going to get caught. Drew Brees tries to go and has to double clutch it. And look here. Watch as Tomlinson gets up, and it tips the ball right to Townsend for the touchdown. And that's just bad luck. The official is considered part of the field. You got to play with him. He's there every play. You got to keep your eyes open for him. But Drew Brees had to double pump the pass, and Tomlinson got tied up with the official.
And what a great second look. A 25-yard interception return. And the Steelers build their lead as Drew Brees has a day of bad luck.
You talk about the turning points of the game, Don. Drew Brees tried to buy a little time early on. And you see there's Marty Schottenheimer and Drew Brees are hot. And that's something that happens in a game. When something bad happens, these guys are passionate. And Marty Schottenheimer's been around. He knows when he can talk to guys and when he can't, when they deserve to be kicked in the pants a little bit and when they deserve to be stroked. And that was bad luck. If Drew Brees takes heat over that, it's not his fault. Watch it, and you'll see it. Tomlinson's going to come out, and this is going to get tied up in traffic here. And as Drew Brees wants to get him the ball, he can't. And Tomlinson's trying to get away from the official. He can't get his hands back to catch it, and that's just bad luck. It just tips to Deshae Townsend. Now, Marty Schottenheimer can talk all you want about making bad plays and making mistakes, but goodness gracious, what can you do?
Yeah, the umpire was open.
Yeah, he had good coverage. Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know.
Doug Flutie warming up, I guess, after Drew Brees with 2 interceptions, bad luck or not, and 1 fumble that was quickly turned into a touchdown.
Let me tell you something, Don. They're asking for trouble. Marty Schottenheimer is asking for trouble. And if you're going to handle it like this, I think it's a mistake. You're going to bench your young quarterback in favor. He's already been benched once, and late in the game, after a couple of bad things happen, you're going to bench him. I think it's a mistake.
Well, he's been going back and forth, changing pitchers as the run back now is across the 40-yard line. There, is it Flutie coming out? It's going to be Doug Flutie.
This is not, I mean, what's Drew Brees going to feel like coming back to practice on Wednesday if he is the starter?
And this is a team, as you know, Steve, that at this point, the Chargers have the #1 pick in the next draft. It could change over the last game, but there's a couple of great quarterbacks in play. Eli Manning, and if Roethlisberger comes out of Miami, Manning could be the #1 pick in the draft.
Now, I'd like to see who the #1 pick is in the head coaching draft. They might have a slot open in San Diego.
Well, it certainly will cut the legs of any confidence Drew Brees was building. As Flutie's on the run, 41 years old, he can still do it. But in his wisdom, he heads for the 12th man, the sideline.
Well, that's Doug Flutie's game, and he's most effective when he comes off the bench. I didn't expect to see him today, even despite what happened with Drew Brees. But Marty Schottenheimer, you know, I think Marty sometimes, at least particularly in this, he's a passionate guy, and he tends to make a reaction. And I just think he just hurt this guy's ability to be a good quarterback.
Well, he was benched for 5 games during the season when Flutie took over. Last year, Brees started all 16 games. His rookie year, Flutie started all 16 games. Tell you one thing, Flutie's putting the ball on numbers right now as he gets it downfield to Andre Gilliam, who's just activated today. And he's ahead for a gain of 13 yards.
Talk about how quarterbacks are handled and stuff. Drew Brees, I mean, he's a third-year quarterback. You spend a draft pick on him, a high draft pick. Do you want him to play or not? You want him to get better or not? And what are you going to do? You're going to take Eli Manning in the draft again? You've been down that road with Ryan Leaf. Now you went down there. You're going to go down that road with Drew Brees as well.
Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson, they were 1-2 in the draft when they both came out. Here's a downfield throw, and a dive at the ball is short of it. And Aaron Crow to Osgood.
I mean, look at these are leading the these are quarterbacks in the last. There's Breeze, Flutie, Leaf, Harbaugh, Moreno. Look at this. I mean, this is like roll call in the Army, and everybody's there.
That's Moses Moreno, and he's actually Zeke's brother, middle linebacker.
They should have the linebacker playing quarterback. Give him a shot too. Everybody else is getting a shot.
Might get the quarterback from the Mighty Mamas where their mother played. Here is Flutie in the shotgun. He can still motor. There's a good timing throw. Gets it out. And coming out is the tight end Justin Peel. And he's down to the 32-yard line with 3:58 to play.
I will say this. If you got a guy on your bench that you're going to bring in for a spark, in my opinion, there's never been a better guy to provide a spark in the league at quarterback than Doug Flutie. He is maybe the best in-game substitution quarterback in the history of the league. When you bring him in, he moves the football every time. And I guess at this point, Marty Schottenheimer said it's time for that to happen. I don't know. It may be okay for today, but I'm telling you what, tomorrow morning, it's not going to be a good move.
Right now, Flutie trying to mount a comeback on the run. Look at this guy. He is an amazing athlete. He's on 3rd down and 6. He weaves his way ahead for a gain of 9 yards in the first down.
You know, as I watch Doug Flutie, Don, you know the thing that amazes me? I played a long time, and I've been retired 6 years. He's as old as I am. And he's still playing and playing well.
They're both holding up beautifully. Tonight on a 60 Minutes exclusive, details of the encounter Saddam Hussein had this week at his jail cell with his angry countrymen. As tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by television's most watched new drama, Cold Case. Then Rob Lowe stars in The Christmas Shoes, based on the best-selling novel. That's all tonight at 9, 8 Central on CBS. Well, it's been 8 years since the Chargers have been in the playoffs. And they're making a lot of changes at quarterback, trying to find the right combination, the winning chemistry. And right now, you wonder where Drew Brees, the Big Ten passing leader, and he'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if his coach at Purdue, Joe Tiller, will be calling him tomorrow to try to pick up his spirits.
You can't see it. It's cold weather even now, but you should see steam coming out of his ear holes on that helmet. And he cannot be happy with the way this game went. And a couple of bad breaks, and he has to stand over there and watch as Doug Flutie finishes up the game. And he and Marty Schottenheimer had a heated exchange after that play that ended up in the touchdown.
First down, Flutie and the Chargers trying to get back in it as time has become a major factor. Now here's a throw and a catch. The Steelers quickly close off the receiver, but he is ahead for a gain of about 7 yards. Osgood again with the catch. Joey Porter with the hit.
You can count on if Flutie does get them into the end zone, they're going to go for 2-point conversion here as well, down 16 points. Or, excuse me, 14 points. No, they won't have to. My mistake.
Here is Flutie on the run, and he does the right thing and barely throws it away. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the San Diego Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Don Criqui along with Steve Tasker. Our score is the Steelers 40 and the Chargers 24. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast.
I was having trouble with my math there. I thought they were down by 16, not by...
They are down by 16. Yep.
That's right. Well, I was right.
Yeah.
I got guys tapping me on the shoulder here. I ran out of fingers.
No, your math is
good.
They
do have to go for 2 if they get the touchdown.
New math. Your math is fine. Here's Flutie on 3rd down now. He's got to get 4. Ball is slapped back at him, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Looked like Troy Polamalu. This guy's getting better and better. The #1 pick of the Steelers. A strong safety who can run like the wind.
Well, this is the one thing I've always liked about Bill Cowher teams, Don. When it gets into a tight spot, when it gets into a point where there's pressure on the line, the Steelers under Bill Cowher have always gotten more aggressive. They never go into their shell. They come out and hit you in the mouth. And that's the only way to play this game. Even though it's a tight game, they're up by 16. This is a team that when the pressure's on, their backs are against the wall, they are still ultra aggressive.
Well, for the Chargers, any chance to come back hinges on this play. Throw and a catch. And a first down it is as the linesman comes in. And he spots it. They just got it.
Pulled it back. Wow.
Boy, it looked like he had it. He didn't need it. It looks where the spot is.
And you can look for, if he can, Marty Schottenheimer may. He got past the yard marker.
He did. It looks like.
And they spotted it inside that yard marker. And if I'm Marty Schottenheimer, you don't get this, I would challenge the spot of that ball because it's that important. I mean, you got to have the first down.
Well, you're out of business if he doesn't get it because the Steelers get the ball.
They both have one timeout left, so he can do that.
He didn't get it. Whoa.
I challenge it right now. I challenge the spot of that ball. I did not like the spot of that ball. And I don't know, that yard mark, the chain looks to be further than he got it anyway. You know what? It might not be a smart move, but I did not think they got a good spot.
A red flag just was fired in. He heard you.
I agree. I mean, you got to. There's no way around it. And the Steelers were up trying to get a snap off. They already lined up. They knew. And you can see Marty wants to challenge the spot, and I think it's a good move.
San Diego is challenging the down by contact spot, and we'll review the play.
Pittsburgh's booing a smart play by one of their own, Marty Schottenheimer, who just happens to coach for the other team right up here at the top. He's got to get to that yard line. He's on past, and that right, I mean, that looks like it's well past the mark. But they spotted it inside that yard mark, the yard line, the 14-yard line. He's got to get past the 14-yard line.
He got to the 14.
And it looks well inside the 14. They spotted it outside the 14-yard line. So I thought they missed it by a good 2 feet, which is about what they needed.
Well, Bill Carrillo, the referee, is one of the best, and he'll review it now. He is, of course, also the executive director of the Officials Association. And in the course of a long season, there's almost 45,000 plays in an NFL season from the first game through the Super Bowl. Last year, they overturned 91. That's a pretty small percentage.
Yeah. I think
fraction of a percentage.
And I think there was only 300 reviews of all those thousands of plays. Only 90 of those were overturned. And it looked to me like I thought he got it from up here, and then I was surprised when they spotted the ball where they did. It looked like they missed it. And nothing more crucially during the game, early in the game, where it's not so crucial, you wouldn't spend it. But this is crunch time for Marty Schottenheimer. You got to get this first down. Exactly. Something crazy. You'd have to get a turnover with 3:05 left, 2 turnovers maybe, to get back in the football game.
Well, if they can get the reversal and get the first down and get it in, of course, they'll try the onside kick. There's still 3:05 left, and Flutie has been pulling rabbits out of hats for most of his 41 years on football fields.
Well, I can't draw it very straight, but maybe I can do it this way. That's the line. Right there, I mean, there's the line right there.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the linesman has got the best look in the house.
And we'll see. Now, this is the line, the 14-yard line right there. Just inside, right there.
Sure, look.
There it is. If I can do this right. He's got to be over that, and that line's a little bit wide, but I mean, it's that simple.
Well, they're making sure they get it right, taking multiple looks, and they just saw that last one. As there was the outstanding outside linebacker, Donnie Edwards.
I think it's important to note it's what was called on the field that's important, Don. There has to be indisputable evidence to overturn this call, and that may not be enough.
And now the only man in the building other than the one upstairs who knows is referee Carrillo, and here he is with the official pronouncement. Either it is a first down for the Chargers on a reversal, or the Steelers take over the ball and in truth the game.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the receiver number 89 was short of the line to gain. Therefore, the call stands as short. First down, Pittsburgh. San Diego
Good night, Irene.
Is charged with a timeout. It's their third and final.
Good night, Marty. So the Steelers take over the ball and now in position to possibly run out the clock. Gives us a chance to tell you that the executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. The coordinating director is Larry Cavallina. Today's game was produced by Victor Frank and directed by Kathy Barretto. The senior producer of CBS Sports in the NFL today is Eric Mann. The director is Bob Mattina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The associate director of today's game is Sean Gerchikoff. The broadcast associate Andy Friedman. And our technical manager Tom McCarthy. The technical director is Colby Bourgeois. The audio supervisor Devin Fouts. As the Steelers now go in a one-back formation, and the one-back is the one you'd expect to get the ball, Jerome Bettis.
Don, they just flashed on the scoreboard here in Heinz Field that Jerome Bettis needs 18 yards to surpass Jim Brown in the all-time list. And I've played on a Pro Bowl team and for Bill Cowher as a player, and he was an assistant and a head coach. He's going to give it to Jerome Bettis.
Listen to these Steeler fans.
Bill Cowher does not let up. If he's up by 30, he will pour it on, and I think Jerome Bettis they're going to make an attempt to get him what looks to be now 15 more yards.
And not knowing what will happen next year with his big contract, will he be here? Perhaps this is his last game in Pittsburgh. The bus runs again. Although he said he envisions himself being in a Steeler uniform next season.
He wants to play more. He wants to be a Steeler. The fans here in Pittsburgh want him. I think deep down Bill Cowher wants him, but the business may dictate otherwise.
He'll be back to Heinz Field in a moment.
Hey, Tim. Thanks for being the designated driver.
You mind giving my uncle a ride home, too?
No problem.
Great.
How you doing?
Why, thank you for asking. I'm doing fine. The people in that bar sure were friendly. And boy, that popcorn was good, too. Not a single kernel went unpopped. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever had popcorn with cheese on it? Delicious.
Hey, let's do this again real soon. I'm free next Friday.
E-server.
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 E-server. These are not normal servers.
They're better than that. They adjust and predict.
So you'll never see rats.
For systems like Linux and other types, too.
They love open standards. No kidding, it's true.
For big firms and small firms.
And those in the middle.
E-server's the answer to your business riddle.
They're flexible, bendable,
super reliable.
Utterly viable.
Give them a triable.
IBM eServer X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
Smell great. Oh, they're beautiful. Would you get a dozen? Yeah.
I just love how fresh they are.
Did someone bring a bouquet?
Actually, it's more like a bouquet.
Ah!
There's nothing like the smell of freshly prepared, freshly cooked KFC. And right now, pick up a holiday meal with all the fixings and get a large popcorn chicken free.
Like I'd buy flowers.
For kitchen fresh chicken, you got a KFC What's Cooking.
A 60 Minutes exclusive. Details of the encounter Saddam Hussein had this week in his jail cell with his angry countrymen. Tonight.
How did a 16-year-old girl disappear from a mental hospital?
Anybody ever break out of this room before?
Joan of Arcadia's Amber Tamblyn guest, Without a Trace, Thursday.
We're back. Don Cricket with Steve Tasker. 2 minutes to go. Jerome Bettis closing in on Jim Brown's spot on the all-time rushing list at number 6. He already moved into number 7 position today. Passing to Marcus Allen. Every carry now becoming that he's out of the game though, and here is Maddox. He is sacked as the blitzer was Stephen Cooper, a rookie linebacker from Maine.
It was just a blown assignment by the offensive line. They couldn't get the protection changed for the blitz that was called, and Tommy Maddox tried to step up and throw the ball quickly, and that wasn't quick enough. I mean, he was all over him as soon as the ball was snapped.
Leon Johnson awaiting the punt now off the left foot of Josh Miller. He booms it high, and Leon Johnson at the 48 loses the ball. And it is knocked out of bounds, and it will be San Diego Chargers ball.
Out of bounds.
And Doug Flutie trying to put some more points off. He surely cannot win the game now as we look at the AFC North.
You see here is Pittsburgh will probably.
Well, next Sunday it's Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cleveland got blown out today by the Ravens at Cleveland 35-0.
Cincinnati has to win that game next weekend and hope that Baltimore loses
to Pittsburgh.
Well,
you'll see the measure of the Steelers next week, getting that mandate to play every game like it's a playoff game, even though the best they can do is finish 7-9. It is first down and 10. Flutie in the short shotgun. They come with a 4-man rush, crush the pocket. He throws and connects and gets the ball inside the Steeler 45-yard line.
Let me help you out. The Chargers with no timeouts.
15-yard gain. We want to thank our CBS statistician Bill George and our spotters Mark Oxenreiter and Jack Kazora, as Flutie trying to make something happen with just 62 ticks left on the clock.
Quick spike by Flutie. You can bet that he's going to continue to throw the football at this point. The whole field is open, and you know, as you see there on the sidelines as Drew Brees watches along with LaDainian Tomlinson, Marty Schottenheimer did one thing right. He took his best player and his future player out of the game in what looks to be a hopeless cause.
This would seem to be beyond hopeless as far as winning the game. There is a throw and incomplete pass at the 35-yard line, trying to get the ball to Leon Johnson.
And there's Jerome, but it doesn't look like he's going to get those last few yards to surpass Jim Brown. But
he will next week, though.
You know he's going to get them. And there's where he stands. And I'm telling you what, that's something else. He has been fun to watch as a Steeler. I don't know what the future holds for him, and I don't think he does either. I know we all have wishes for the future, but Jerome Bettis has been a bright spot in the NFL for a long time.
So the Steelers get set to go to Baltimore next week. And earlier this season here in Pittsburgh, the Steelers pounded the Ravens 34-15. And a hard hit is laid on by James Ferrier as the game clock is now down to 42 seconds to play. So earlier this year, Pittsburgh blasted Baltimore 34-15. So you see Flutie, Steve, come to a great hit.
He didn't let him get the best of him. And watch as he takes his hit, bang! But he gets up, taps him on the head, and says, "Nice hit." And then he gets up and takes the next snap.
Fourth down, need almost 5. It ends on a sack by Joey Porter. The guy says we have to make people scared of us again.
And I'll tell you what, that's tough to do. Sacking Doug Flutie is a feather in your cap because he may be the most elusive guy next to perhaps Michael Vick in the National Football League.
That's the 5th sack of the season for Joey Porter.
Moving to time for 8th place on the Steelers. Congratulations, Joey Porter.
And I would guess Jerome Bettis in the game with 14 seconds. Do they give it to him? No, they're going to kneel down. They're going to make Jerome Bettis wait a week to pass Jim Brown.
Well, today the bus ran well. 32 carries for 115 yards and moving up to number 7 on the all-time list. Now for Steve Tasker, I'm Don Crickey saying so long from Heinz Field, with the final score is the Steelers 40 and the Chargers 24. Coming up next on CBS at 60 Minutes, except on the West Coast. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 38. Merry Christmas and the happiest of holidays to all. Thank you for joining us.